Good evening, everybody. And first of all, sincere apologies. Of course, I normally stream on a morning, um, on a Friday, but of course, I'm not streaming till now. Essentially, I will adhere to my schedule unless something comes up, and I will always put family first. We were expecting visitors, and here's the thing. They didn't actually show. But of course, we didn't know. I guess they didn't know. Stuff happens. But yeah, hopefully we get to see them soon. Though I was really looking forward to seeing them. But that's beside the point. Um, Here's the thing though, with us finishing Frostpunk 2 yesterday, the playthrough was great, by the way. I loved it. Looking forward to more updates and of course the DLC. But I have just a few days left to finish the Season 1 Battle Pass of Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And of course, this is a game I normally like to play with my family and friends. And so I was like, well, you know what? Maybe it's not so bad that my stream is delayed today to the evening because more people can join. So with this stream, we are going to get the 3 Battle Pass tokens I am missing to finish Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Season 1. And we're going to do it in the multiplayer because that's what I enjoy. And then I am done with Battle Passes in games other than Tekken. If I could be talking head for a minute. You know what I realized? I had an epiphany. I was playing this game off stream, rushing to finish this battle pass because I hadn't really been on the game this season enough to get it all done. And I wanted to get the season 1 battle pass done because I'd paid for the Vault edition of the game that basically comes with the battle pass as part of the cost of the game. And I kind of felt a subconscious obligation to like, well, you bought the Vault edition, and if you don't play enough to complete the pass before season 1 is over, you basically miss out on content in the pass that you paid for. You just have to play to earn it. And it's like, at that point, essentially the act of playing the game literally becomes a job, but also I don't like the fact that you have a limited time to earn this stuff. I actually think a game like Helldivers 2 does live service right, where like, yes, they add more and more essentially battle passes, but they're not called that. I forget what the terminology they use in that game is. War bonds, right? They release more war bonds, but the war bonds never expire. Like, rather than replacing an old war bond with a new one, there's just more and more war bonds available, and you just have as long as you want to earn them, because you can earn everything just by playing the game, and there's no expiration date on any given war bond. If live service is truly never going anywhere, and this is the reality we live in now, I would much prefer Helldivers 2 Warbond model over the idea of a season and a season ending and being replaced by another one, where essentially we all have a time limit to earn the weapons, the skins, whatever they want to make a seasonal unlock. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, all this to say that after I'm done with this battle pass that again was included in my Vault edition, I don't actually plan to pay for a Call of Duty battle pass ever again. The only exception may be, of course, if I ever get a Vault edition of Call of Duty in the future, which, to be fair, might still happen. But again, it's only a might. It depends on if there's anything else I want to play more that's out around the time. And of course, it's always November that these games come out. I'm like, yeah, I'm really feeling the live service fatigue more than ever. And so you may be thinking, well, why do this stream now? It's like, I do actually want to play this game and I do want to finish this. I was just laying it out that like kind of never again. Like the getting to the point of almost getting this done, which is something I've been doing off stream for the last like few weeks. It really felt like a slog, to be honest, even with family and friends joining. And yet the game is good. I like the moment-to-moment gunplay and gameplay of this game. I really do. But yeah, I don't want playing a game to feel like a job. And it kind of has felt like a job. So with that all said, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Let's play this. And yeah, we're nearly at 98%. We're like one game away. And typically I've been getting the most XP from game modes like Domination, so that's probably what we're going to play. But yeah, there's actually a lot of games coming out soon. A lot of games. And in fact, Xbox had a event just yesterday where they announced a whole bunch of stuff. Ninja Gaiden 4 plus a remake of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black that's out now. That looks interesting to me, but even though it's out now, I just can't buy it yet. Even if I did buy it, it's like, when would I play it? I honestly don't know. Yeah, I don't know. My God, if Babylon wins I don't want to start the stream on Babylon. Why does everyone go crazy for Babylon? I don't know. That's like my least favorite map in this game. But hey. Do I sound salty? Like, maybe I do. See, I've said for a long time that I prefer Battlefield over Call of Duty, and yet look at how little Battlefield has been played on the channel compared to Call of Duty. I guess that's because a lot of my family play Call of Duty instead of Battlefield and kind of always have. But like Battlefield 2042, after Season 7 ended, they don't have seasons in that game anymore. So now you can just play it for the fun of it. It's got no live service mechanics in. So it's great now. So I think another thing that I'm excited to do once I'm done with this battle pass is to go back to other games, because I'm no longer like trying to keep up with battle passes. And by the way, I barely went back to Diablo 4 to do Season 6, you know, the Spiritborn. For the first time, I didn't finish a battle pass, and it's a little bit of a shame because I did obviously pay the currency to get that battle pass, but you know what? It's 2025. It's a new year. I don't want to be a slave to my video games where they dictate to me when I play what and for how long and what the time limit is. So you know what? It doesn't matter that I didn't finish the last Diablo battle pass, and I don't plan to buy another one. I plan to go back to Path of Exile 2 instead. And that was really the main reason why the Diablo one didn't get done, is because Path of Exile 2 Early Access launched. And I'm actually really looking forward to going back to it. I'm stuck on a boss, the cruel boss of Act 1. We're probably going to resume the playthrough next week. I kind of got a little sidetracked by Frostpunk 2, but hey, we beat that game now. And it was really like just a different... I was ready to just play something different. And obviously now that I have the MacBook, it was really nice to play that game with the Twitch extension, and I really hope everybody enjoyed that playthrough. You know? It was great.
We're losing Charlie. Controlling Bravo.
Semtex out.
And I will be checking out the Utopia mode of Frostpunk 2 eventually. I think I'm going to wait for their next major update, though, which is coming out this year before the console version launch. So, oops.
Taking Bravo underway. They're taking C.
Damn it! Check your sights!
Taking B.
Now, I probably will play this game, Black Ops 6, in future seasons to, like, get the seasonal weapons. Because you don't have to buy the Battle Pass to get those. They're, like, some of the free unlocks. So you probably will see me join my family in future, but, yeah. I don't actually plan to buy a Battle Pass for this game again. Again, maybe a future Call of Duty, like, you know, just play the first season all the way through of one. But yeah, I'm not buying every battle pass anymore because essentially it just means that you're tied into that game for the whole year, and my backlog is ridiculous. I think what really has made me have this big epiphany, right, more than anything else, you know how Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has just launched on PC? Yeah. I bought that game on day one on PS5 and I still haven't started it because I wanted to complete Final Fantasy VII Remake first. And I've been saying for over a year that I was going to get to that playthrough soon, and I still haven't. And the reasons why, big reasons why, are Diablo 4, Tekken 8, and Path of Exile 2. Now with Tekken 8, that is a game I'm always going to play. I'm now playing it 2 streams a week, 3 hours at a time. That's going to continue. I want that to continue. Thank you to everybody for showing up for those streams. But as for the others, I mean, obviously, I always stick to the golden rule of I play on stream what I want to play on stream. But yeah, what I realized is battle passes and other like live service mechanics were influencing what I played when. I don't want that to happen anymore. I want my reason for playing something literally to be because it's what I feel like playing, rather than I'm playing this because I have 3 days left on the season and I want to get everything from the season before the season is over. Yeah.
Securing Alpha.
So I've always played on stream what I want, but I think my reasons for playing what I've played sometimes, I'm no longer content with those reasons. Even though it's still what I wanted to do at the time, I think going forward I'm just not going to engage in monetary practices that basically then dictate how what I play when and how. Yeah. Because that's how you get burnt out on stuff. So this stream right here, you know, 1,804 consider it almost like a turning point. Like, where initially I could see the appeal of live service and stuff, and it's cool to have one game that's constantly evolving and, you know, new reasons to log in and play it. But I'm feeling the fatigue of it pretty hard right now. Like, because there is so much of games I already own that I've literally just not played because
Enemy
live
sentry
service
protecting
has
your
is
area.
kind of, for one reason or another, skewed what I've wanted to do. And I'm like, wow. I may as well have just waited for a sale on Rebirth and got the same game at a cheaper price. Because I clearly didn't need to pre-order it because I haven't even played it. And the PC version of the game is out now. So it actually really bothered me. I'm embarrassed
Find another way.
that I haven't finished
Releasing
Remake
Charlie.
and even started Rebirth. I'm a little embarrassed. And then this is the thing. This is like coming from a guy that
Watchdog Hilo incoming on your location.
essentially
They're taking
streaming is what I do. So I'm always playing well, not always playing video games,
This is the best.
but it's like for multiple days a week I'm doing a stream playing video games, and I haven't even got around to some of the games that I plan to play. Like, crazy. Absolutely, like, yeah. Absolutely mind-bending, like, just, yeah. So whoever's listening to me waffle, thank you. Let's see, is anyone else in the voice chat yet? No, not yet. Wait. Yeah, not yet. Okay. That's fine. But everything's working, which is good. And oh wait, is the voice chat mute? Why does that keep happening? Okay, the voice chat is not mute. Why does that keep happening? I can be heard though, right? 1, 2? Yeah? I think so. Let's go to Volkut. Battle Pass. What are we looking at? Wait. Did it not give me my token? Oh well, we'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. I feel like I should have had my token by now, though.
Domination. Secure the objective. Taking the objective. Lost by 6. We control Zone C. Losing B.
But yeah, Tekken 8 battle passes though, I'm still gonna get those because I fully complete them every time without even trying, because again, it's a game I'm playing at least 6 hours twice a week, and that's more than enough to complete the pass. Because they give you like, what, 2 months? It's more than enough time.
for me. Bravo zone secure.
Okay.
We've taken control. Losing Bravo. Watch it. Securing zone A. We're losing Charlie.
Not my finest moment there.
Hostile scout pulse in your AO.
By the way, it's looking like Aragami 2 won't be happening tomorrow night, just so you know. So don't miss me too much.
Losing B.
Dundee's got moving things to deal with. He's not moving. But still, there's things moving that he's got to deal with. Like Cranky will be moving in, which is exciting.
This is some bullshit.
I'm present.
Hey, sir.
Upgrade destroyed.
So I've just spent a long spiel of like I'm never doing this again. Although maybe at the launch of a Gooby I might still get a Vault Edition or whatever. But other than that, like I've just kind of explained how, because I don't want to repeat myself completely. But it's, I think the release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PC has made me realize that, man, I bought that game on day one on PS5, and not only have I not started it, I never even went back to the previous game to continue that, to then get even closer to starting it. And it's been over a year. And then you think about, because you have to think, I stream multiple days a week for multiple hours, and even in some cases there's been multiple streams per day. And I've always streamed what I've wanted to stream, but I think the epiphany I've had is that live service and these battle pass mechanics that with like seasons that end at a specific like date, they have changed or had a very large influence on what I've wanted to play and why. So I've still always done what I've wanted to do. You know, anytime I've come on Call of Duty to do more of the Battle Pass, it is what I wanted to do at the time, but it's coming at the expense of getting through the backlog and playing other things that I was excited about playing. And there's quite literally not enough time to do all this stuff. So I kind of feel like, in a way, I wasted money. I didn't need to pre-order Rebirth. I could have got it on a sale price because I've never made the time to play it. You know what I mean? It's like I would love Space Marine 2 to join you on it, and I think it'd be amazing in co-op. But let's be real, if I owned it right now, do I have any idea when we would actually play it? Not a clue.
No, not really.
You know, and you know, I could buy it and we could make a plan. Well, how about this weekend? And then and then, you know, we could make that plan. But then when would we continue it? Like, do you see what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
it's a big game with a lot of content. So yeah, and again, I've just had this epiphany of like, and the thing is, like I said, I'm streaming extremely regular and going through tons of games, you must feel like be hearing what I'm saying and be like, well, shit, you think your backlog's bad, and then you start thinking about your own personal one, right? Like, it must be huge. But I don't know. It's not nothing to be ashamed of, though. I just kind of feel like, man, I've spent money on this stuff and I still haven't started it. I'm like, what's going on?
The way I kind of see it is like, we are slowly starting to understand what it's like to be
Enemy UAV inbound.
a streamer full time.
Yeah.
Like, say for example, Maximilian. He has a bunch of games that he's either bought and not even started, or
Or
he
bought,
started
played a
and not
bit.
even finished.
Yeah, like when the PS5 Pro came out, he restarted Final Fantasy
Take an egg.
7 Rebirth, you know, with the intention of doing a full playthrough with the pisser, right? The PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. And I think he got 3 streams in, and then other games and fighting game DLC characters and other content that he needed to do, you know, started happening. And now, so much time, so even he's feeling it where, like, now that the PC version's out, he's like, well, I may as well not finish the PlayStation 5 Pro playthrough, because now it's on PC, it's going to look and run even better, and that's the run that I'll finish, you know? Like, which makes sense for him. But it's like, yeah, I do feel like the Rebirth is the game that's made me realize, man, why didn't I get round to playing the game? Because again, I was excited for it enough to pre-order it. And yeah, it's bugged me that I haven't even started it. You know.
Enemy care package.
But and I apologize to the chat watching the vote, because I have essentially at this point said almost everything twice.
Securing
Pretty much.
I mean, I've just now showed up and
Yeah. It just really
bra-
made
your
me.
brain
It just
has just
really made
become-
me think, man. It really
Yeah.
made me think, because it's like it's a 100-pound game that I haven't even started, and I have every intention to. And I think the fact that this is bugging me this much means it will get played. Like, here's the thing. My challenge to myself, and it's not even really a challenge, but I'm telling you all now, both the remake and rebirth playthroughs will be complete before the third game launches. So that when the third game launches, my playthrough can be when it launches. Yeah, you know? I legit want to do that. Yeah. I legit want to do that. But here's the thing, I'm kind of excited to finish this pass because
this shit ain't
we can go back to Battlefield when it's done. We can go back to Titanfall when this is done. Like, I want to play shooties that don't feel like I'm playing it because of some silly live
Hell,
service
to
mechanic.
go even further with that, we could even go back to The Last of Us Remastered and play that
Multiplayer.
game's
Hell yeah.
multiplayer.
Yeah.
You stated, like,
UAV established overhead.
months back
Yep.
that you wanted to, at some point,
Uncharted 4's got an
play
amazing
that.
multiplayer as well. And you know what? Here's a throwback. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag multiplayer is amazing. Because nothing else plays quite like it. Imagine a deathmatch where you get more points by basically not rushing your kill. You know, the stealthiest, least rushed way of killing your target is the way to have that score the most points. I really lament Ubisoft not putting that multiplayer mode in since Black Flag. And the thing is, obviously there's rumors of Black Flag getting remastered. I bet the multiplayer doesn't get remastered. I really think it should. I think it's amazing. You know? because nothing else really plays quite like it. And they've had that multiplayer mode in multiple Assassin's Creeds. It was basically in everything from AC Brotherhood to Black Flag. So it was in Brotherhood, Revelations, Black Flag. Oh, Brotherhood, Revelations, AC3, and Black Flag. So by the time it got to Black Flag, I think people were feeling some fatigue with the multiplayer. I wasn't, though. I think it's genuinely cool. But anyway, with that match, Alpha, we are officially at 98% on this damn pass. So I've been
Here we
slogging
go.
away, like, at, you
Two
know,
more
off
boxes to
stream.
get, and then all of a sudden it's like, good fucking riddance. We don't have to touch this game again.
I mean, I will, right? I will, you know, as and when
Until the
family
next
want to play it a bit.
Zombies
yeah.
map comes out, in which case,
I mean, again, I'm excited to play it with the fam and everything, but I'm excited to play it because, like, I want to just play it for the fun of it with you guys. I don't want to feel like I'm playing it because I have to beat this pass within, you know, 3 days or what. Like, yeah, I'm really tired. It's actually got me. I'm really tired of live service. God damn it. Why does, whenever Babylon comes up, why do everybody, like, do people hate themselves that much? Like, you really want to get spawn camped on
I think what's worse, right, is like, you had the choice of either Vorkuta,
Yeah,
Rewind,
yeah.
and Random, and because a few people from that lobby were like, I don't like either of these maps, so I'll just pick Random instead.
Oh, here we go. This is better.
Subsonic nuke. Honestly, I think Subsonic is equivalent to Babylon because I mean, yesterday was just horrendous.
Okay.
75 fucking kills.
I'm in. It's pretty cool, and I've been shooting the button now. Ever since you told me about shoot the button, the map has completely changed for me. Like, so. But yeah. And of course, with the new season coming soon, we are going to get more new maps, so that'll be exciting. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. It looks like we're going
We
on.
will be getting a Black Ops 2 remake map.
Oh, come on, Hijack, please. Hijack.
It's Grind.
Oh, wait, Grind is the skate park, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, that's great. Wait. Okay, I'm excited for that. I'm not buying the battle pass, but hey, that's great.
It will be arriving in season.
Oh, so not at the start.
So, yeah, that essentially means it'll be
Mid-season.
season 2 reloaded.
Yeah.
There, mid-season.
As long as they
update.
get whatever the swirly thing in the wind looking right. I can't even remember what they're called.
the flailing.
Yeah, that's got to look right. I was so amazed at the cloth physics that the PS3 and 360 was doing, like, with that thing. The
At that
animation
time,
on it
yeah.
was because it looked exactly how those things, whatever they're called, should look. And let's be real. Visually with this game, like, the material work is amazing and the lighting, like, it is pretty nice, you know, and how this game feels to play. Like, yeah, there's a reason why this game is so popular, but yeah, I'm just tired of live service, man. It was having too much sway as to what I wanted to play and why. But I think my biggest issue is the why I'm playing it. I realized it's like, oh, I'm playing this because I want to finish the pass, rather than I'm playing this because it's what I feel like playing, you know?
Oh, thank fuck it was a teammate that caused the car to get ready to explode, because otherwise I would have died.
But yeah, at this point, I'm a broken record. It just, yeah, realizing really, it put things into perspective, man. It really did.
Hmm.
Enemy UAV inbound.
And hey, if everybody had this epiphany, shareholders would be panicking, right? Because all of a sudden their live service dreams would just all come crashing down. You know, if everybody got tired of battle passes and everybody decided, I'm not buying them anymore, what would be the
I
next thing? Like, what would they do? Like,
I mean, with considering the fact that live service games are costing so goddamn much at this point.
I mean, not even at this point. They've always costed so much.
I see. T.
True. Yeah.
It's never been something that should have been pursued, because
You've fallen behind.
really and
It's
truly,
getting to the point that AAA developers like Activision, Bungie, which I have kind of
Hostile UAV
supported up until this point, it's just been like, yeah, this bubble
But-
needs to burst.
yeah, and it just means, and to be clear, this means hundreds of thousands of whoever developers need to lose their jobs. So when you start seeing that, don't start being like, oh, yeah, man, this is really bad. I hope developers find it. Some of them don't need new jobs. Some of them need to go sit down somewhere, because you lot have been rinsing the industry doing fuck all. Yeah? And to be honest with you, it annoys me because I've said this before and I'll say it again. There is no reason for development of a video game to take as long as it does.
Losing Bravo.
None.
West Point reporting
I should not get one game
We got the lead.
per generation when you know you want to make a whole trilogy out of it. Yeah? I should be able to see the whole of that trilogy in that
on that
generation.
console, yeah.
If I can't see that, you need to hire some more people.
course for LDBR.
And that might mean you need to pay the people that are already there less money so you can hire some more people. And if all of them do that, the developers won't be able to say nothing, because what they're going to do is start their own company. If they had the money to do that and the confidence, they would have done it in the first place instead of asking you for a job.
Basically, all this came about because, and again, apologies for like repeating myself the umpteenth time, but like, yeah, we are streaming Gooby because I'm very close to finishing the season 1 battle pass that technically my edition of the game I already paid for, right? But
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, this is the last time that I'm ever going to invest in a battle pass for something that, if I'm not like completing it by accident, like on the same level as a Tekken 8 or whatever, I just, yeah, because I've realized that a lot of the me firing this game up has basically been fighting FOMO rather
Yeah,
than
you've
being
been
what I
running.
actually want to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sick.
I
I'm
might-
sick of live service and what it does, especially if it's limited time live service stuff.
Yeah.
I think
I
Helldivers
might-
does it right because you have forever to complete the war bonds if you want to. Yeah.
But I think Helldivers is going to run into a problem because that player base is completely dropped off. Yeah. And I don't know if they, obviously, we don't know if they've made enough money to justify continuing doing things
And
that
I
way.
I guess
So-
they've dropped off because basically they're under this assumption of like, oh well, I can go back and do these war bonds whenever. Whereas competing games, it's like I've got to fire this up because this game's season ends in 3 days' time. So this is what I mean. The whole
They're just
kind
bored.
of yeah.
Or they're just bored. Helldivers doesn't look like much of a get. Like,
Oh, it is.
it happens with
kinda
it,
have-
happen-
you
it,
kinda
happen-
have
it
to
happens
think.
with fighting games as well, right? People get bored, they leave, they go and do something else, and sometimes come back like months or years later. Yeah, when their lives in a different situation. Helldivers looks like the same sort of thing because as fun as it is,
XD in your AO.
it's only gonna be fun up to a point.
Enemy hard
Yeah,
operation.
and then you're gonna have to, you get burnout, you leave, you go and do something else, and then you come back to it. And I think maybe that's what's happening with a lot of people. and it's just not getting any new people. So I think Helldivers is fantastic, but I think that's what's happening. And the problem with live service is you need a continuous stream of people coming in and paying for your battle passes. Whereas if I just make one game and it's an open and closed book game and I sell 30 million copies of said game, I'm good. Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
And I think
yeah, because it's Rebirth on PC that's really pissed me off. Because, like, the fact that I haven't even started it and I bought it on PS5, like, that's really what spurred all this. Of, like, I'm going to finish this Gooby thing and then I'm just not buying another Gooby Pass. Because it's literally, like, taking, like, I'm basically playing
So
this
it's-
because I feel I have to, rather than playing the stuff I bought over a year ago. You know?
so. It's not Rebirth that's pissed you off. It's Gooby.
Yeah, well,
Hence-
yes.
hence
Sure,
why-
sure.
Hence why me and Yax are sitting there going,
Sure.
"Why are you playing Gooby?"
Sure, but here's the thing. It was
Streamer.
Rebirths coming out on PC that made me have the epiphany, though, right? Because it's like, shit, this thing has come out on PC and I didn't even start it and I pre-ordered it. Like, it took
It was a big enough thing. It was a big enough thing for you to actually pay attention to what you were doing.
Yeah.
Even though people were telling you what you were doing.
Rebirth on
months-
PC really opened my eyes. And the thing is, it's been making. And again, I apologize because I'm repeating myself a lot. But hey, Marcus wasn't here at the time. But yeah, this is the thing. This is coming from me. And what do I do? Like, for most of my free time, I am literally a variety streamer. And streamers stream a fuck ton of games. So, yeah.
But if you notice, the majority of variety streamers, they don't stream Call of Duty. They don't stream games like that because those games are built for Call of Duty fans, people that they love that game. That's all they play.
Losing B.
Yeah,
So
which is
having a system
essentially
like
all my
this-
family is. Like, it is legit all they play. Like,
Yeah, but you have to leave them to it and play what you play.
yep.
And then if one of them gets bored, Uncle Andy, what you doing? I'm playing Tekken. I'm playing Street Fighter. Why are you playing that boring game? It's not boring. Come, let me show you why. The problem with a lot of people, yeah, is that rather than playing the games that they want to play, they play the games that are big and popular because it's easy to jump on those games because they're popular, right? Sometimes the game that you want to play would require you to actually get people together and say, come, let's play this. This is why I'm always saying, do you want to play some KOF? Do you want to play some Virtua Fighter? Do you want to play some Gundam Wing Maxi Boost? Yeah? These are the games that, some of them I haven't played Gundam Wing Maxi Boost before. So I know it's great though, because that game's made Bandai Namco a ton of money for years, right? And I wanted to experience it with
I
other
feel
people,
like now
right?
that VF is finally coming to PC, I feel like this Maxi Boost thing is basically your new VF, where now every conversation I have with you gotta fit Maxi Boost in there somewhere. Whereas before VF came to PC officially, like us mentioning VF was literally a way to summon you into the chat because it's happened on stream before. Just start talking about VF and be here.
It's still gonna be VF because I know VF and I understand VF. I know it's good, right? But Maxi Boost is this new interesting thing that I know nothing about, and because when it comes to most fighting games, me and you are perhaps on slightly different levels. Maxi Boost would make a lot of sense because neither one of us knows shit. So it'd be like, oh, what's going on here? You know? And
Yeah.
you know, you like tech and stuff. Gundam is all about fucking mech and robots and stuff. It's really cool, right?
Yeah.
Alpha probably like it as well because it's third person shooting in a big arena with mechs that you customize and you put different weapons on it and stuff.
To be fair, it does sound really cool. It does.
I am also itching for like a Transformers game.
It
Yeah,
does,
the only thing
it-
Gundams don't do is transform. But
I
other than
was-
that,
it does sound cool. It does.
I was really looking forward to Transformers Reactivate, right?
I didn't
And
even know that was happening.
recently, like a week or two ago, they announced it was being cancelled.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
So there's another thing as well.
then all of a sudden, gameplay was leaked a couple days after the announcement, and fucking hell, let me tell you, it looked like it was going to be a great Transformers game.
You want to talk about gameplay leaking of a game that then ended up cancelled? Dude, Blur
Bro.
2. Blur 2. Did any of you ever play the racing game Blur on like
Yeah.
360 and PS3? It had a sequel that looked fucking nuts that never saw the light of day.
It was the most innovative arcade racing game that wasn't Mario Kart.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Which is exactly why
Not
it got
only
cancelled.
that, it was made by fucking Activision of all people.
Yep.
Again, which is exactly why it got cancelled.
I think it sold really
because
well
the-
as
the-
well when it came out. Like, people liked
No, but
it.
you're talking.
and yeah.
You're talking about the one that got cancelled. The reason why that got cancelled is because
Be secure.
every time they try something like that,
The advantage.
and it's too far out the box, even if the previous one did well, most gamers are not gonna buy it because it's not what they remember it.
Yeah.
Oh, Silent Hill 2.
Yep. Boss fight, basically, Mum. Did you save it at the red square?
Get me a
That is your last red square of the game.
Bravo.
So it's
Oh,
boss,
wow.
boss fight central now. Yeah, I think you might. But yeah,
Good luck, man.
yeah.
Taking Bravo underway.
Yeah, no, that's what happens, and because the higher ups, i.e., not the developers, not the gamers, because they know that happens, and it financially means they're fucked, right? They just don't take the risk.
Yeah.
That's basically all it is. It's a great idea. They think it's a great idea. They greenlight it. They realize how much it's actually going to cost halfway through development, and then they go, "Yo, this ain't worth it," because there's a high chance that all the gamers are not going to buy it because it doesn't play like the last one.
Bravo is ours.
Which is why all the games that come out look the same and play the same and thing the same. So what needs to happen is, as Alpha said, the bubble needs to burst. Yeah, we need to stop making games that cost $400 million. And the way you do that, first of all, is to get rid of all these developers that are getting paid way too much for doing fuck all, and
We
just pay
also
them a
need
lot
to-
less.
We also need to break this mindset where a game needs to
Losing Bravo. Taking
make like needs to sell at least 5 million copies to
B.
be
This is why
considered a
this is
success.
LBBR
what I'm talking about is how you
But
do
that's
that.
the thing. A lot of
because
modern
the reason-
games
reason
do
why-
need to sell that many in order to be a success because the cost of
Because they
development
cost
was
so
too
much.
high. If
Yeah,
they can
they
lower,
cost
if
too
they
much.
can lower the scope of the development, like, so in other words, not be overly ambitious, they won't need to have obscene targets whereby, because again, Frostpunk 2 that I completed yesterday is a great example. So the game is like what, £40. They sold 30,000 copies and that covered their entire development costs.
Losing
So
I would
Bethesda came out
even go so
recently.
far as to say Astrobot is also a great example. That game didn't even cost millions,
Bravo lost.
and it won fucking Game of the
Bethesda came out-
Year.
yeah,
Listen to this. Yeah, but that won Game of the Year because we haven't seen a platformer that was half decent in about 20 years. That's why.
That
game
also isn't Mario.
that
you
that
look at
also
if
is a
you look
game I
at that
really
game,
need to get. Yeah.
if you look at that game, there is nothing of with us being as old as we are. If you look at all the platformers that, especially that I have played in my time, there's nothing overly spectacular about Astrobot. The reason why that game did as well as it did is because nothing like that has been seen in years, and that's what people have been asking for years. So basically, you gave the gamers what they want, and they rewarded you.
Losing B.
Shock horror.
We're losing
Shock
Bravo.
horror.
Yeah,
Right?
you know what?
It's
yeah,
very
I
simple.
really need to get that game and play it. It looks wonderful.
C.
Oh, here's a fun fact that I didn't know until yesterday. Apparently, according to Bethesda, Dishonored 2 costs more to make than Skyrim.
What?
What?
Dishonored 2 costs more to make than Skyrim.
Wow.
And it just about made enough money to stop Bethesda from going under.
That actually is insane.
Right? And the big reason why it costs so much is because apparently they spent $180 million on advertising.
It
So it's not
did
even
have
about
a
the
crazy
game.
advert campaign, if I remember. Yeah.
We've lost Alpha.
It weren't even the game. $180 million on advertising.
I believe, if I remember rightly, a very beloved game known as Haze had a really big marketing budget because they had Korn create a song with a music video for the game.
Hostile
To
Alpha.
put this to put this into perspective, yeah, Alpha. Red Dead Redemption 2, the entirety of the cost to make that game was 150 million.
Wait,
Yeah?
repeat that just so my
Let me-
brain
let me-
comprehends what
Okay.
you just said.
All right.
Losing Bravo.
Bethesda
Taking A.
spent $180 million on advertising for Dishonored 2. So not development, not anything else, just advertising. Yeah?
Get me a UAV.
Red Dead Redemption 2 in total cost Rockstar 150 million. So including advertising and development and everything else. Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the greatest games apparently in a very long time, yeah, cost less than just Dishonored 2's advertising budget.
Hold your positions. Losing
I
A.
think my webcam may have frozen. I just heard an audio blip, and yeah, I reckon I gotta unplug and plug in my webcam again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have your stream up, and yeah, your webcam just crashed.
Oh
Yeah.
joy.
Well, I'm not looking, but yeah. So Alpha, when I tell you
Why is
When I
it
told
always?
you-
Why is it always the webcam? That's I don't know.
At least it's not OBS.
Bravo lost.
I mean, the
I
stream's
don't
still
jinx
running,
it.
but yeah, I think the only fix is to unplug
Even
it and
if
plug it in.
OBS does crash, the stream will keep running unless you press a button,
Yeah.
which is funny to me.
We're losing Charlie.
Oh
OBS
yeah.
crashes.
Losing
Oh,
Bravo.
Yeah,
hey,
that's actually a Twitch feature where, like, if you get disconnected, like if your internet goes down, they basically give you a few minutes to recover the stream, and then in terms of the VOD, they just cut out the gap.
Taking A.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. All right, Alpha.
They're taking
Right. So given what I just told you, never mind the stream for a second. Let Andy fix that. Given what I just
Okay,
told
I
you,
have to wait till the end of the match.
you-
I will fix it, but
what do you think?
We're losing Alpha.
Because I thought that was insane. When I read that, I was like, what the?
Bravo is
What?
We've lost Alpha.
Why are you spending
Considering-
180?
yeah, the stream can still hear you. By the way, it's just my webcam's froze. Like, I'll fix
Yeah,
it. At the end of the game.
yeah. I know. I understand. What do you think, Alpha?
C.
I
Zone C secure.
honestly,
We're losing Charlie.
that to me spells that
Taking A.
they were trying to be way too overambitious with its marketing campaign, and they should have cut back a bit.
You know,
Because
he said a bit.
that alone,
Taking this one for us.
like
Location secure.
advertisement on its own, 180 million.
A. They're taking C.
Now, granted, back in that time as well, advertising tended to be the most expensive part of
Yeah.
production of a game. Nowadays, that's not the case. Nowadays, the most expensive thing is probably the salaries of people. Yeah. So even if you look at today, though, with inflation and all the rest of it, right?
Losing B.
Hold on. Water. Even if you look at the rest of it with inflation,
Already dead.
Okay.
Just hadn't realized.
right?
Good
Didn't Spider-Man 2 cost something like 300 million or something?
200 million.
What was it?
Roughly around 200 million.
Yeah.
And
Same with-
Insomniac themselves were like, this is not sustainable.
By the way,
'cause
all the best to Ted Price, who is retiring, and now Insomniac will be headed by 3 individuals instead of 1. Oh. Okay, so sorry for the loud noise.
Halo Infinite is also doing the same thing. Halo Studios is headed by 3 different people.
Absolute shit show.
A very
Has it always been like that, or is that a new thing?
That is relatively new. That happened when 343 was entering a major restructuring.
I am very
Okay.
sorry for the loud that happened on stream because I didn't like stop the stream or anything when I unplugged my camera.
A lot
Okay.
of people think, because of the current circumstances that are currently floating around with Halo Studios, because they don't exactly want interactions from the community.
I kind of understand.
Despite the
I-
fact the community is literally what's keeping Halo Infinite alive right now.
Yep.
No, but I kind of understand because I'm part of the, well, not part of the, but I keep tabs on the fighting game community, and I can absolutely understand why you might just want to say fuck it to all of
Yeah, yeah.
you. We're just gonna do what we want to do, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Yep.
Because gamers are fickle. They don't know what they want until you show them.
Exactly.
So there's no point in asking them what they want because half the time they don't know. They don't know.
Yeah.
You do it. You spend millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars on doing it, and then they don't pay you back. So
Which is why I am in the camp that, as hot of a take it is, Halo should not go back to how Bungie tried making it.
Right.
what do you mean by that?
Because Bungie don't ever
Yeah.
want to go back to Halo. And even if they tried
you
making
mean?
a
Be
to my
specific. What do you mean?
to my understanding,
hmm
with how Bungie are, they want to
Mhm.
stay as far away from Microsoft as possible.
Yeah, no, I
Which,
understand.
To be fair,
Having
I kind of see that.
having dealt with Microsoft before, I understand.
Hmm.
Yeah, right. One, the way they do things is not the most. Freedom is something you definitely don't get. Put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like
Domination.
from Sega or
Time's over.
what was the other one I did things with? Codemasters, people like that, or what was
Mm.
Codemasters, right? But at the same time, when you said they don't want to do Bungie, I'm thinking
We're losing Charlie.
you don't want to do Halo like when Bungie was doing it. I'm thinking that was Halo's best time. Halo hasn't had a better time since the Bungie days. Halo 1 and
Yeah.
Halo 1 and 2.
The
is like,
reason why I say they shouldn't is because even if they try, the community's not going to be happy, and they'll just be like, "You're trying to be Bungie. You will never be Bungie. Stop trying."
Yeah.
Halo
And
Studios
there
shouldn't
will
be
be a
Bungie.
subset of people that are actually fans of, I guess, more 343 Halo, where they came in afterwards. You're like, believe it or not, that there's probably people that came in
Losing Bravo.
from Halo 5 Guardians or Halo Infinite and stuff. And so if they did a very Bungie like Halo, those fans wouldn't be happy. Although I
Okay, so the
personally-
key now. So the key now
essentially
is
like the
Did they-
player
did they-
base is split. You know what I mean?
it doesn't matter because essentially it comes down to did they sell more when it was Halo 1, 2, and 3, or did they sell more when it was 4, 5, and 6? To my knowledge, most of the sales were in the front end of Halo 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
right?
Maybe.
So
Yeah.
if I'm them, I'm saying We need to be more like when Bungie was doing that back in the day. If these lot don't like it, then they don't like it, because boy, this brings in more money and people like it more.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. If you look at Guilty Gear Strive became what it became because although the original Guilty Gear fans like myself, we liked the older games and the way it was played. The bottom line is this new way brought in way more people.
So it's basically going to have
makes
a
more
big
sense to go
sway
in that
to keep
direction.
it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense to go in that direction. I understand it. I just don't play Strive that much.
Something to also note that I feel like we're also majorly glossing over. They got a hell of a budget because they got their game on Xbox Game Pass for a time, which would have heavily inflated their player numbers.
We got the lead. Now hold it.
Oh, you mean
Good point.
Infinite, by the way. Yeah, right?
No, I'm talking about Guilty Gear here.
Oh, Gear Strive. Yeah.
Yeah,
They sold.
because when I played it, it was
They-
on Game
They
Pass.
sold a lot before that deal, though, man.
They sold well over 1 million before that, and they'd never done that before.
Yep.
By the time it was on Game Pass, they'd already made history as far as they're concerned.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they
what
do
I'm
have
saying
a
is
new. I get
there
what you're
would've
saying, yeah.
been
We're losing Alpha.
a few people who probably wouldn't have even bought the game because
Yeah, they've
It's
never
weird.
played one, and they're like, what's Guilty Gear? Yeah.
they would
And
have
it's
seen
on
it
Game Pass.
pop on Game Pass and be like, what the fuck is this? I'm going to play it and be like, damn, this is actually a really good game. I'm going to keep playing this.
Yeah,
And
no,
when
absolutely.
it got close to,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know, everything we're aware of with how they do Game Pass deals, all of a sudden, even more sales.
Yeah.
You're right. But my point was, even before that, they sold way more than they ever had done before it
With
even
the
got on
prior,
Game
with
Pass.
any prior entry
So-
of Guilty Gear, yeah.
So, looking at that from a business standpoint, it makes sense to keep going in that direction with that kind of game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then putting it on Game Pass bolsters the player base even more, which for a game like a fighting game or any multiplayer game is extremely important.
Yep.
Because you need people of all player levels to play, right?
Yeah.
And in Guilty Gear in particular, because they have that stupid tower system. If
Yeah,
you
it
was,
worked well when the players were there. It doesn't work well when the player base is small.
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So putting it on something like Game Pass or PS Plus or both at the same time, if you can, right?
Yeah.
Because it has crossplay, means that you can have the best chance to have as many people as possible in all of those levels.
Yep.
Because ultimately, that's what you need. You don't need everybody and their mum in Celestial, and then the other 10 towers is just there's no one there. Because the
Yeah.
one person that comes in and there's no one in.
Celestial.
Yeah, everyone, their mum and their dog Fido's in Celestial, and then like you started playing the game yesterday because it was on Game Pass. You end up getting put on floor 9 because that's where the game put you, and essentially you get no
Yeah,
matches.
I basically can't rank up in that game anymore.
The only way you could rank up is if me, you, and Alpha and some other random friends all went on at the same time and just went into rank for the sake of it. I did that on Street Fighter 30th anniversary once. I was like, in fact, I think I did it with you. It was either you or Kyle. I said, yo, do you want to go and rank to see what this is like? Because I never saw what it was like, because as soon as I went on rank, the game was already dead and no one used it. They went back to Fightcade. He's like, all right then. And to be fair, it worked all right. Go on, Alpha.
Andy,
Yeah.
I think the enemy team's about to forfeit.
You sound sad about
fuck.
that.
There's
That
only two
technically
of them.
means you win.
Man, I tell you,
Yeah,
this
it
is,
basically indicates our team basically stomped the opposing team to the point everybody's just backed out, and because we're so
you're
far
too
into the
good,
match.
man. You're too good. You gotta, you joined my party. My squad-based matchmaking with my weak ass is like, yeah, you gotta go easy on these people, man.
I'm not even top of the scoreboard. This is
I'm
Logic, motherfucker, who's
I'm having a
44 and
very
8.
hard time understanding why this is a bad thing.
Because
just
we're
means you won.
basically are struggling to find Like,
Tack on.
I
So you're
mean,
struggling to find matches, is what you're saying?
no. There's only 2 opposing players to kill, to go
Yeah.
and kill.
Yeah.
Essentially, the problem with
quit.
this is
TACOM, authorize
Uh-huh.
LDB
because the
on site.
game's nearing its end.
Yeah.
The match is basic. It basically becomes a bit of a private match because nobody else is going to be entering this match
Yep.
on their
Let
team.
me start again. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I mean, at least the
What?
game will be over soon. But yeah, there's basically no one. Like, yeah, it's just
Let me
2
start
other
again,
dudes
right?
versus 5, and
Tack on.
yeah.
Launch
I play chess sometimes, right? If I batter my opponent to the point where they've gone, you know what, fuck it, I surrender, boom, I've won.
Yeah,
That's
but the
fatality.
game doesn't just end. Now we have to just wait for the score to hit 200, and
Yeah.
yeah,
It's either that
the
or they
pacing
back
of the
out
match is
and
just
cause a forfeit timer.
How long do you have to wait? Like, you can't be that
they
long.
kind of quit
forfeit
pretty early,
timer-
right? Well, it was like that we still had
Forfeit
like
timer starts counting from 10 seconds.
Yeah. So how long you have to wait now?
like we
Uh,
had to
we
wait for like
literally have-
60 points or something like that. We're just about to hit 200 now,
Is that?
Which is how
That's right.
which is
How long
over
is
which
that?
is over a quarter of the match.
They will never suspect this one.
This is why everybody should just play fighting games.
You know, so
When you-
just
When you
over a
forfeit in
quarter of
fighting
the
games,
game.
you just
Just over
this
the
is- this is
quarter of
what-
the game, we're just wandering around like, oh man, you know. See, we were talking about Bungie earlier. This is actually something that Bungie actually figured out. They have a thing called the mercy rule, right? Where if a team's getting absolutely stomped, the game ends early. It's like, I've seen enough, and the game just ends early. And it basically means that everybody that was in that match just goes to find another match. And it doesn't waste anybody's time. But yeah.
not only that. Once it
I mean, a
figures-
dub's a dub, man. I'll take it. But yeah,
Yeah.
not the most engaging a gameplay yet. Hopefully that doesn't happen again.
This is
which is my problem, because if I'm just stomping a team like that,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm not having fun.
Yeah, isn't it funny how like you want to do well, but you don't want to do too well because too well is not fun.
Yeah,
Whereas
but that's not
whereas
your-
in a fighting game, there isn't really such a thing as too well. Like if you
There
do
is such
too,
a thing as too well.
yeah,
The thing,
There
the
is such a
thing,
thing as too well.
the,
Yes,
the
there
thing
is.
with fighting games, where if you are doing too well, it's like
It's not fun. It's not fun. The key thing about fighting games, though, is that although it's not fun, it's over very quickly. You
Yeah.
can go to the next game,
yeah,
yeah,
right? This is why Ajax is constantly trying to say to you, learn this, do this. He's trying to get us up to his level so he can
yeah,
have
yeah.
more
Like,
fun.
listen, I really want to give my opponent better games too. Yeah, it's true.
But the silver lining is in a fighting game, it's over quickly.
Yeah,
Either way, it's over quickly, right?
yeah, and
With
that
what you-
most
which is
certainly
why
was.
right
Bungie
now-
has the mercy rule in Destiny.
Yeah.
The mercy rule
In
is
what you
actually
two are
very,
gonna-
very good.
In what you two are going on through right now, it sounds like
Oh, it's over,
Yeah,
by the way.
it-
We're
it-
through it.
it's-
But yeah.
okay. Yeah, that sounds a bit annoying. I don't complain too much about it, but I do get why that would be. Yeah.
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 It
You
is
know, I get
weird. Luckily, though, because again, this game, obviously with it being one of the most popular shooters on the market, it does
Yeah.
have a very large player base of all skill
Yeah.
levels. Complete noobs that almost
Exactly.
never get a kill, to complete sweat lords and literally everything in between. So matches
I
like
think
what we
that
just
is-
experienced, it doesn't happen often. but when it does, it sucks.
That is what, and that is why it gets so many people playing it.
Yeah.
Because the majority of people that I see, even the people that play the game, say it's shit. Right? Even the people that own the game, they don't like the game, but it's just so massively popular that it's the game that you can always get games in. So everybody plays it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy in a positive way for Activision Blizzard,
Yeah.
right? And the thing that
This
gets
is why
me is
this is why more people need to play Battlefield.
I agree.
Because if you have shit like
I
that
agree.
happen, you can have a major fucking comeback if your team locks the fuck in.
Yeah, and I am looking forward to go because I've always said on stream I prefer Battlefield over Call of Duty, but because of live service bullshit and the fact that my family play this over that, I've basically been a sheep and just followed along. Well, guess what, people? I'm going to be streaming Battlefield on this channel in the future again.
well, it's all right,
happening.
Andy. Your shepherd is here now. Okay, both of you. If you really want people to play Battlefield like that, that's what you should be streaming right now.
And I am going to stream.
Watch your
It's
time.
going to happen.
Taking this one for us.
And Battlefield, as I said, because I said it earlier in the stream, Battlefield 2042 is even better right now because they've removed the live service aspect of it. Season 7 was the last one, and now people that play it still, they play it for the fun of playing it. Like every old Battlefield
you
before
need-
this live service shit existed.
All you need, right, is to play the games you like to play.
Yep.
Eventually, Activision Blizzard will fuck up with COD, and they'll do it bad enough to where your family, people in your family, they'll still play it.
I
but
can't
they'll be
see that
frustrated.
happening. I tell you what, though, when
I'm not finished.
he's not
They'll
finished.
still play it. They'll still play it because I've been fighting games. I see it all the time. People are crying and moaning about a game, but here they are still playing it. All it took though is for someone they know to turn around and go, you know what? I hear you. I know it's new. I know you don't know fuck all about it, but come over here. It's way better over here. Another reason, because this is all psychology, yeah? This is all human psychology. The big reason why half your family play only Call of Duty and nothing else is because there's a level of comfortability with that. That's all they know.
Yeah.
Yeah? So even if the game is terrible and they are not having fun,
Yeah.
they will play that
They play
because
it
that's what they
anyway.
do to react, and that's what they know. They need to be put in enough of a comfortable situation where they can come over, they can play with you or someone to make it more comfortable, and you can show them a way to get them up to the level of proficiency that they are with COD, and then they probably wouldn't even bother with COD anymore. And that's normally what it is. It's not so much that people like these games, it's that they've put so much time into it, they can't stop. It's like the sunken cost fallacy. That's what it is. And in fact, the sunken cost fallacy is exactly what Andy's doing now. Because the only reason he's playing COD is because he bought
Finishing
the
the
battle
battle
pass.
Yep.
Bought the battle pass. He has to finish the battle pass, and then when he's done, he's gonna put his good middle finger and his cerebral palsy afflicted middle finger up at the game at the same time, and be like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna go play what I want to play now."
Capturing Toronto.
Pretty much. But like the thing is, right? This is a good game, and in terms of Call of Duty, I stick to what I said of like,
Firing scout post.
I think it's the best one they've done since 2019.
Yeah.
You know, I like the Omni movement system. Like, it's a good game, but I've just really I've got live service fatigue in all forms, man. All forms, like, yeah.
The best thing about the Tekken one is you don't even notice that you
don't,
play
you
the battle pass.
don't. But here's the thing, we naturally play that game a lot. I reckon if I was as casual with COD as I am with Tekken, I'd be running out of time in Tekken. Even though you have 2 months. But yeah, for playing
definitely.
Tekken 8, even if it's just twice a week for 3 hours at a time, so basically 6 hours per week,
Getting captured.
I guarantee you will complete that pass without even trying with over a month to go. They really
Yeah.
don't need you to have to put a lot of time in. to finish that
But
pass.
that's how it
That's
should
how
be.
it should be. Yes, that is how it should be.
I don't have to know that I've even signed up to a battle pass because remember,
I honestly think,
again,
like, because Alpha, I mean, you will have finished the pass for this quite a long time ago. I
yeah.
actually think that it takes more games to get one
Flashbang.
token in the battle pass than it used to on previous games.
probably because the Activision Blizzard want to keep
I
you locked
think
in the
they've
game.
increased the grind.
UAV established over.
I would absolutely agree with you.
It's felt
In
In
slower.
fact, I would
Yeah.
go so far as to say they started experimenting with that halfway through Modern Warfare 2019's life cycle, which is when I jumped in.
And not even mentioning if they've increased the grind or not. Like they're like,
Yeah.
let's see if
You
people
know what it
don't
is?
even notice.
Do you know what I've realized?
What?
Losing B.
Bandai Namco have done it because they want to make more money.
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard do it because they want to keep you locked in so that they can make a continuous stream of money,
Yeah.
right? There's a bit of a difference, yeah? I
Yeah.
probably haven't described it properly, but there is a slight difference in what they're going for. Activision want to make sure they have a continuous, endless stream of money. So they're trying to make it so that you're basically forced to play that game and nothing but that game.
Yeah.
And then the longer you're in there, the more likely you are to buy gun skins and shit.
Yeah, because they're always advertising it to you in the game as well. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco don't need you to do that. They just needed you to buy enough people to buy the battle pass maybe one time.
Yep.
Do you understand?
And we know
So
that
once
it
they've
works
got-
that way because if you buy it once and then fully complete it, the next one is free. Because yeah.
because it wasn't to make an endless stream of money. It
Yeah.
was to supplement the cost of you buying the game and the season passes because the game costs so much to make because it has a bigger budget.
Yeah, and rather than charging us
what it is.
200, 300 pound for the game, they're like, well, no, let's do the usual 60, and then we will just, you know, £4 at a time, do these battle passes. Yeah,
Back to the way that they were in the 90s, you would be paying 150 quid up front for these games. 100%.
especially the ones that were on cartridge consoles, right? Because the memory that was on the so
Bruv.
like, as
Bruv.
far as I'm aware, right, cartridge Final Fantasies were like triple figure purchases, but the length of the game made it worth it.
That. I don't know about that. Like literally, I don't know about that. What I do know is that there was a point where Super Nintendo games were 80 to 90 pounds in the early 90s. So in today's money, that is like
CIA's best.
what 200 quid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
But again,
Right?
there would have been a lot of actual gameplay hours in that game. Yeah.
100% because you're not getting through half of that game because it's going to be bastard hard.
Enemy UAV inbound.
It's going, but also as well, they got taken to court actually, and they lost.
Oh.
We don't reward failure.
Yeah, because I don't know if it was the retailers or the gamers themselves, but there was a court case against Nintendo in the 90s for basically charging extortionate prices for the games. And Nintendo did, and Nintendo did lose. They did lose.
And yet they
Just-
still charge pretty high prices. I noticed,
No.
right, because I was looking at the eShop the other day. Zelda on the eShop is £10 more than any other first-party Nintendo game on the Switch. So Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are, I believe, £60. Whereas anything else like Mario Kart 8, Smash Brothers Ultimate, like even the more recent Nintendo games like Super Mario Bros. Jamboree, it's all £50 instead of 60. So basically what I'm
Because-
saying is there's a Zelda tax and it's £10.
Because Zelda and Mario Kart in particular are two of Nintendo's highest selling IPs. They outsell Smash and Mario.
But it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, when I saw
Ze-
that though, I'm like, hang on a minute. Is it literally only Zelda that's at 60? And sure enough, yes.
Zelda, they can almost charge whatever the fuck they want, and people will buy it. Yeah, Zelda's one of those games. But if you've played Ocarina of Time, like I have, if you played Wind Waker and some of those games, you kind of understand why the fan base is like that. Those games are really good, like really, really, really good.
I've got to play. I've got to play them someday. And if I play them, it's got to be it will be streamed, all right? It will be televised on a stream, like I promise. Because I've not actually played through a Zelda game, so like I have played them a little bit, just messing around, but I've not played through, like literally through. So it will be an experience for me.
I'm gonna make you laugh now. I've said all these things, but all I really had to say was this. I completed Ocarina of Time.
that is gonna make me laugh. Yeah. So it's gotta be good. Yeah, it's gotta be good.
The whole thing.
If CP Skills has finished it, like honestly, if you were a gaming journalist, man, if any game gets a quote of like it was so good, I finished it. That's an endorsement right there.
And the water temple was, but I got stuck on that for ages as well. I remember being stuck on the water temple for quite some time.
It was so good.
I'm going to go so far as to say this. I have seen my missus's grandmother also 100% that game.
Wow.
And she's like
as well.
70.
I 100% in the game as well. I didn't just finish it. I got all the gold score tellers and everything. I've never done that before.
The game is so good, even your mother's mother will finish the game.
It's your mum's favorite game, bruv. That's how good it is.
Mum's the word.
Ain't it? Both of them.
I'll even go so far as to say this. She has every single collector's edition.
Damn.
Of Zelda.
That's a glamanana right there. Damn.
Yeah, if we haven't exactly explained to you, Andy, how good Zelda is, yeah.
I really
Zelda
is
a good fucking game.
Well, you know what? Like, obviously, I have a Switch 2 reservation, which basically means I've paid a penny for it at Shop2, and then depending on the launch date and the price, I basically pay the rest when the actual launch date is. But as it stands, I'm looking to get a Switch 2 on day one. And if I do, it's going in the stream setup, which is right here in this room.
I'm going to break everybody's frames just for shits and giggles.
What?
What?
I'm
confused.
Screwing with everybody's frames just for shits and giggles.
What do you want about?
Confused.
Oh, what?
That's what I'm asking. What?
Exactly. What do you want about?
I dropped the napalm on the roof of.
Oh, you wanted to cause a frame rate drop? Nothing happened to me, man. I'm on PS5 Pro. Haha.
Joke's on you. They've changed it so napalm doesn't break glass anymore.
Okay, well, I didn't drop a frame. I'm just saying.
Fuck. Oh well. It would have been funny anyway.
I would have laughed if it's still there, and I legit didn't get a frame rate drop. I would laugh if the Pro was good enough to take it, but the Pro would be the only one. It's an Xbox game now.
Andy, I'm not making any promises because I had to pay a lot for my glasses recently, but the Switch 2 might happen.
I honestly think, because you've just got a light, right? I actually think in your position...
Hang on. Let me finish my damn sentence.
You're going to get Smash Bros?
It might happen. I also might need a certain affiliate link.
Oh, yeah.
And,
yeah. I can provide that. In
I know you can
in
provide that.
in fact, even my Twitch chat can provide. Like, just type !shop 2 in my chat. You'll get my link.
Yeah, I might do that. Part of me might also get the City of the Wolves Collector's Edition if they've got it. I might do that.
Oh, well, there you go.
I might do that.
Well,
Who
I
just
mean,
came in?
Hello. Give
hello.
him a moment. He'll just be plugging in his mic, most likely.
Oh,
No,
There he is.
Lewis.
I don't know how. I don't know what the quality is like. I'm on the
Yeah.
PlayStation Portal at the minute.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Sounds all right.
It's good.
Cool.
But no, you know the PlayStation Portals?
I do. Yeah, the handheld remote play streaming device thing. Yep, you got one of those.
It is
yeah.
it is insane. We got one for Christmas, and I love playing it.
Honestly,
Martin, can you
I really
even
do
play
feel
them?
like it was built for the dad gamers, right? Who have to give up the TV, but they want to keep playing. Like, yeah. Yeah.
I think it was built for those of us who we can't always access the TV, or
Yeah.
we travel a lot, because it is really portable. There's a bloke in America who actually travelled to the other end of America, and he was still able to connect and
I
play.
have been trying to tell people that remote play has actually been good enough for for this kind of stuff since PS5's launch in 2020, and it legit is. Like, and if it's yeah.
It is okay, right? The thing with remote play, if the internet access isn't strong enough, or the internet, the Wi-Fi isn't good enough,
Yeah.
it's not brilliant. Like it's doable.
It
'Cause
definitely
I used to-
requires good Wi-Fi and Ethernet. Like, it really
does.
does. Yeah.
The thing is, though, if
Oh,
Losing B.
sorry, go on,
The-
Marcus.
I was saying, if a guy went from one side of America to the other side of America and it was still working, there's a lot of states in America where their internet infrastructure is absolute doo-doo, right?
Yep.
So if it was still working, that says a lot in favor of the portal. Number one.
Bravo lost.
Number two, if I would say it doesn't work for something like fighting games where you absolutely need
Oh yeah.
fame.
No, even
It's not
even
gonna
if
work.
I owned one, right? Like, there are certain games I just wouldn't play
to
on.
get onto.
Yeah.
This
So-
is where I was
Does
about
have
to
a
get
bit of-
onto.
Mm.
Me and Martin, we actually tested it not long after I got it. So Martin can back me up on this.
We lost
On zombies, because me and Martin tested it out on zombies to see how good it was in a online session of zombies to see if it worked, and it worked decently. Because I know that on a solo game, it works just the same as a console. Obviously,
Yeah.
you notice that there is still an input latency because you're playing via Wi-Fi. You're not playing via a Bluetooth connection from your
Yeah.
controller to the console. You're playing via Wi-Fi.
controlling Bravo.
It is streaming rather than actually playing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there is a noticeable input lag. Not massive, but it's noticeable.
Taking this
Yeah.
one for us.
And then we went but it was okay. Me and Martin were able to play zombies perfectly fine. No issues really. We had the odd connection issue here and there where I would lag a little bit. As to be expected, because like I just said, you are technically playing via Wi-Fi rather than Bluetooth. And then we went into multiplayer. It doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a lot more lag. because
I'd expect
the
that.
game session,
Losing B.
there is a host no matter what, and you aren't always
Yeah.
guaranteed to be the host in an online game session. So if the host doesn't have a good enough Wi-Fi connection, your Wi-Fi will be doo-doo, and then you'll just crash.
So it is good. It's nice to hear that you can do that and you
Yeah.
can play the game.
I mean,
Because then
again,
maybe
the only reason why I haven't really got one is because, see, where it would be handy for me is that I would suddenly be able to play my PlayStation 5 in bed, which, believe me, sometimes I've been tempted because you guys are on games a lot later that, I like to get in bed at 10, but a lot of you guys are online chatting or gaming or whatever past that. Owning a portal would let me get around this, but I gotta be honest, kinda don't want to be like doing like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. like some of you guys do. So I haven't felt like a portal is something I really need. It's a cool thing, but I haven't really felt like I needed it.
I already have a Steam Deck, and I'm not locked into PlayStation like that. So
And even
the
though
Steam
you
Deck
have a
already
Steam
does it for
Deck,
me.
like you technically, I mean, obviously it is possible to put Windows on Steam Deck, and there is a PlayStation Remote Play app for Windows. So technically, if you really wanted to put it on your Steam Deck, you also could. Yeah.
I could, but I don't. A lot of my games now, I do get them on Steam anyway.
Yeah, so you've got the same games on
So
PC. Yeah.
as long as it works on a Steam Deck, it just works.
Yeah.
And there are times where
And the Steam Deck
I
has
just-
its own version of Remote Play anyway, where you can Remote Play into your high-end PC rig and basically do the same thing the Portal's doing. That is possible.
Yeah.
They call it
Right.
Steam Link. So
Right. I would say the only benefit to actually owning a portal, because when I used to work, in a way, basically security, I was sat in a hut all night long for 12 hours.
Yeah.
basically, rather
I
than
used
securing
to-
where you're working, you just sit there in your chair on your Portal. Yeah, they're cool, man.
No,
then
what I
everybody's
used to
sneaking
do,
in.
right? Because it was this was before the portal come out. I'm going back like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right, so the portal wasn't out at the time. But what I used to do, I used to turn my mobile data on my phone, and I used to have one of the iPad Pros, the the really big
Yeah,
one.
yeah, and then you'd have the Remote Play app on that and tether your phone. Yeah.
Yeah. Bear with me 1 minute.
Yeah, no, my cousin does security as well, and there's a lot of time, honestly, even though you have to secure things, there is a lot of time where you're standing there for hours just doing nothing, because on most days nothing happens.
Yep.
Obviously, you still need to be aware because something could happen, but the majority of the time nothing happens. And a portal, if you're a big PlayStation fan, you got all your games on PlayStation, a portal would be a good thing for
Portal
that.
would make sense for someone like me, where I've got like nearly 1,000 games across PS4 and 5, I think, in my library.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was times, I'm not gonna lie to you, there was times where due to my condition, I was in the bathroom
Yeah,
for quite some
dude,
time.
it is literally.
And I was-
it's the throne pad for sure, man.
It was on my peak because this is like PSP, PS Vita time ish. I was thankful for my PSP and the Darkstalkers Chronicles, boy.
By
I
the
was
way,
in
we're
there.
officially on tier 99 of the pass. We've just got one more token to get. And
Just
then
remember he's talking about
Have
he's
they
gonna
extended the Squid Game event again? They have. They
the
keep
the
extending it.
Squid Game thing is 3 days to go, but I think that's just dumb. I'm not buying that pass. So they're literally
Right.
putting
I don't
season passes
understand.
on top
logged
of
in-
season
I
passes.
logged in yesterday. And it said 1 day left on the event. They keep extending it. They've extended it about 4 times now.
That's crazy.
Actually, the 1 day left thing was with
I
regards
think
to
it was double XP, right? Yeah, it was double
No,
XP.
Double XP ran out on Monday. I logged in last night, and it told me that there was 1 day left on the Squid Game event.
I have a
Huh?
question.
Yeah, they extended it. It was 20 days from when it started, and I believe it started on the 10th.
I think
I have a
it's,
question.
yeah.
No, not the 10th. Sorry, it started not long after the new year, didn't it?
What's your question, man? By the way, Lewis, are you wanting to join the game or are you just chatting?
At the minute, I'm just chatting. At the minute.
All right.
this Squid Game event, right?
Yep.
Is it that Netflix have paid Activision Blizzard to have this event, or has
Yeah,
Activision
probably,
Blizzard
yeah.
paid it?
In the same way that Nike will have paid Namco to have stuff in Tekken 8. Yeah.
So it's that way around. Huh?
Yeah, Netflix would have paid Microsoft because let's face it, Activision are owned by Xbox now. So
because there's a Korean fried chicken restaurant near where I am, and they had a Squid Game event as well. They got like specialty burgers and things on there, like the Elimination Burger, which I found really funny.
Papa John's had a Call of Duty thing going. I don't know if they still have.
They did the monster deal near launch, if you remember, because there was those skins that Shadow Dragon hooked us up with, because he basically drinks it by the truckload.
There are services out there now where they are still selling the codes for all previous.
Wow. Oh my god.
partner-
Right, however, there is
So it's
nothing
like-
illegal with doing that.
Wow.
You know what?
People,
This is why-
people and FOMO, man. FOMO.
This is why the Call of Duty World League, should have tons of money in it, and it should be this big thing,
Yeah.
because they can get all these sponsorships, and they could probably get quite a bit of money from like Netflix and Monster and all these people,
Yeah.
and these companies essentially pay for it.
And yeah.
Here's something for you. The last I checked, the Monster Energy stuff, which to my understanding you can't get anymore.
Yeah, it's all done.
Yeah, I remember seeing. Yeah.
There is a website, legitimate by the way, where you can acquire every single Monster bundle from Modern Warfare 23 and Black Ops 6.
Wow.
Roughly for about £6.
My god.
To be fair,
Yeah,
to be
really,
fair,
for £6.
To be fair though, if those codes haven't actually been used yet, and they still technically work if you bought the cap, then it shouldn't be a problem.
I've done it before. I did it before with the Jack's beef jerky lot.
Yeah, like if I bought Tekken Tag Tournament 2, let's say I bought it in 2012, and it had the because inside that game there was a code to you did it so that you could unlock certain characters. And let's say I bought it in 2012 and I just never opened it till now, and I sold it to somebody. Technically, it should still work because it's not being used.
PlayStation codes, I know for sure, they did eventually have a expiration date, and I think part of the reason why is because they're only 12-digit hexadecimal. So with new copies of Tag 2, like you're saying, there was the online pass, because it was in that era of gaming where, like, if you bought a game secondhand, you had to buy the online pass DLC, but if you bought a new copy, there was a voucher code. But the voucher code did have an expiration date. It was a very long expiration date, but it did have an expiration date. And if the code did expire, you basically had to pay, like, basically money to buy the online pass on the PS3 store instead. And I believe it was £8 or something like that. Thank goodness the online pass did bad enough to the point where EA and eventually other publishers did abandon it. Because they were essentially trying to get revenue from used game sales, which, I'm sorry, you got the revenue from the initial game sale.
The situation we have now is worse.
Yeah.
The situation we have now is worse because now you can't even get used games because they don't even make physical games anymore. So,
Yeah,
and then they
true.
charge you more for less of a package.
Yeah.
Make matters worse, if you are looking for a used game, it's either going to be not the game you want, or it's going to be expensive as shit
Yeah.
because it's a physical copy.
Yeah.
And they want to tap into the physical collectors market of people who would want to spend thousands of pounds just to have a physical copy of a game.
Yeah.
That is it.
Which is crazy to me. It's like there's markets for so many fucking things, and you don't even realize it until
Oh, if
You
something,
kinda
if
fucking
it's something
see
to
it.
be sold, there's a market for it, man. I mean, what people are apparently there's a market for Pokemon's bathwater or something. I don't know. I'm not in that market.
Oh
There's someone
god,
else.
don't remind me of that.
Oh, the $30 cookies, bruv. And then don't forget the,
Oh, don't even remind me of that. 'Cause should you end up
and
being
then
like, oh, if you're
not
poor,
forget,
just don't even bother.
let's not forget beer made from Amarim's V yeast, yeah?
Oh my god. Oh, can you? Why did you? Why? Why?
I
Why?
censored it for a reason. And it was a Polish company, Andy. Yeah? I would put that out there.
Hey,
Man.
right, I'm gonna topic hop quickly. I'm gonna topic hop.
Thank
I have
you.
some really brilliant news. I have in 8 days. In 8 days, I will have a 1-year-old that can walk.
Whoa! Yay!
She's beating me by 37 years.
By the way, right? Because
No.
well, I was gonna say any plans, but I suppose you don't want to spoil.
Spoilers.
In all honesty, I believe we just. I don't even know what we're doing. I know that we're doing a cake smash, a private cake smash in the morning, where we're just gonna sort of put a white bed sheet down on the floor and give her a chocolate cake and let her have at it. See what she does with it.
Okay.
Sounds
That'd be,
pretty fun.
that'd be an interesting thing to see.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure what. Okay.
Basically, it's just something. It's just something that a lot of parents do for a first birthday. Just sort of, you know, because it's their first birthday, so it's their first interaction with cake.
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
first
Yep. We never used to do that. We definitely. That's
You know,
new
you
to
just
me.
sort of put it on the floor,
I've never-
put them on the floor, and then see what they do with it.
This is the first time I'm hearing of this.
Yeah,
Well,
that's new to me. It sounds cool.
2025, everyone.
It sounds cool as long as I don't have to clean up the mess. I'm good.
See,
bruv.
that's there's I can predict what's probably gonna happen.
Oh, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to end up with a bed sheet that is no longer usable that will go in the bin afterwards, but it'll
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah. All right. Cool, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
Penelope's saying cool as well by the sound of it. She's like, yes, please, give me cake smash.
Also, how the frick did a year go by so quick? This, again, it's kind of been the theme of the stream. To be honest.
Andy,
That's how.
I'm just as shocked and amazed about it as you are.
Yes.
I can't believe it, you know? It's
Yeah.
been 11, it has been nearly 12 months.
That is actually mad.
You want to know what I'm going to turn around and say?
365
Oh god,
days
Alpha's gonna make it
since my little
worse.
girl was born.
You want to know what I'm going to turn around and say? Somebody pressed a keybind and they decided to wait.
Well, there is a taxi driving simulator.
Yes, there is.
If you're not getting the
There
reference,
are many simulators
With
on
ya?
PlayStation.
No,
and
no,
every
this
single
is
Bethesda
There
game
is a simulator.
with a weight
There is a
mechanic.
game that is
All right,
unbeatable.
yes.
The aim of the game is to not beat the game.
Hang on, what game are you talking about now?
I don't know.
What was it called, Martin?
Are you trying to remind me of like the one achievement I told
That was
you
it.
about that's
The
in
Stanley
Stanley Parable?
The
Oh yeah, the
Stanley
Stanley.
Parable.
Yeah. Oh, I know of the Stanley Parable. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a trophy on Steam. I don't know if it's on every version of the Stanley Parable,
Yes, I'm familiar with this. Yep. I think it
but
is on
there
every
is a
version.
trophy in which you complete the game and then you proceed to not touch the game for the next 10 years.
Yes, that is a thing. Yes,
I don't know if it's on every version of the Stanley Parable game.
I do believe it is.
Oh my god.
This is one of those things where people are trying a bit too hard to be outside the box for the sake of being outside the box.
There are few games, if any, more out of the box than that one. In fact, it's so
No, that
out of
one
the
you-
box.
that
I
one-
really
that one you
hope it
don't
has a
take out
box.
of the box.
Limited run games. If that game doesn't have a boxed copy, it needs one. But actually, what you should do is you should put the code or the disc literally outside of the case. Because yeah, that game is so outside the box. It needs to literally be outside the box, in my opinion. Just in like a plastic sleeve that you attach to the box, but not put in the box. That would be great. Because it is that kind of game where that would actually be genius. Yes.
Okay.
It is a very good
Yes.
game. I do believe it's actually one of the PS Plus games, along with
It is.
with Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. Which, by the way, everyone in the voice chat, if you have got PlayStation Plus, please claim that, because the Boost Gang love Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, and I would like to get the Boost Gang on that game sometime. So please make sure that you at least claim that, so that you're able to join at no extra fee, because that's the thing with PS Plus games. They cost nothing to you, but you just have to manually claim them. So, yeah. I don't
Also
know. I
mention-
don't know when the Boost Gang are going to get together on that game. It kind of depends on everyone's availability. But I need to.
Wouldn't count. I wouldn't count on it ever happening. If it does, great, but I wouldn't count on it ever happening.
Well, you see, this is the thing. It's like, because the thing, Yax and I have, in particular, talked about it at length. Where, like, we both want to play that game, but unfortunately, it is a game where, like, it's better and better with larger number of people. And the thing is somebody that has played it like to completion on the original PS3 version, I know it's a great game, and I know if people tried it and got on it, we would have a blast. But it's just
Is Hot Pursuit
organ-
Remastered crossplay by any chance?
yes, it is. This is another reason
Okay.
why I'm harping on. And
So in that case, anybody who is also on an Xbox with Game Pass Ultimate, I think,
oh, okay.
just any version of Game Pass that allows access
got
to
it
EA
there.
Play games.
Oh right, so yeah, it's there as well. Okay, that's good. Well, that improves things somewhat. But yeah, like it would be really fun to get people on that, and of course, I'm doing what I can to make it happen. But yeah,
Yeah.
Domination.
I'm only one person. I can only do so much. It's a collective, like, claim it and tell me your availability, and then we can make it happen. I think a lot of the reason why, I know I got memed on for it, but why I just end up firing up Gooby is just because there are so many people that I know that are just automatically there, because it's all they play. Like, so it's easy to organize Gooby, but it's so difficult to organize anything else, And as somebody, as an enjoyer of a wide variety of games, I'll be honest, it's a little frustrating. Like, it really legit is. It's a little frustrating.
I mean,
What's
to be
frustrating?
fair,
The fact that
It's not.
basically it's easy to get people together on Gooby, but if anything else, like say for example this Hot Pursuit thing that I would love you and so many others to just claim so we can organize an evening on it one time. Like the
to be fair,
yeah.
We're losing
the
The way
thing
you do things like that is you get people that already play the game to play it with you.
Bravo.
So you
the
so you
thing
need
about
to.
this
Mhm.
is also the fact that a lot of us have different gaming circles. Some of us aren't exactly very open-minded in terms of playing multiple different games.
We're losing
this applies to streamers as well. There's some streamers
Which is
that
true.
aren't
Which is true.
exactly
And I'm not
variety,
disputing
so
that.
they
But
will
it,
have
but
a
it, but it
very
is just a
select
shame
circle of
because, like, here's the
games.
thing. I'm not saying I want to play it with the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit community. I want to play it with legit my IRL actual friends,
Losing Bravo.
which is
That's
a
not how
whole
it-
different
That's
thing.
not how things. That's not how things work.
No, I know, but like,
You-
listen,
you
right?
have
When
to-
you've told
I
me,
get you.
like, okay, I just want to finish my sentence. But when you've told me,
That ain't
hey
how I feel,
Andy,
God.
well, hey Andy, like, come play KOF, have I not actually done it? You know?
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
It,
So
it was like it was like pulling teeth, but yeah, eventually.
So how many
Well,
teeth do
which
I
is-
have to
which is-
pull? You know? And it shouldn't. My
All of
argument.
them, maybe. But my point is, the reason why you actually came to it is because, like you said, you like a variety of games. Yeah, and that is part of the reason why I asked you, because you say you like a variety of games. I wouldn't ask any of your family because your family, to me, are not gamers. They play Gooby. That's it. Right? So I wouldn't bother asking them because they're not gonna come. No. Even one time, Lewis, I was talking in this chat with Lewis, and he said he would never, ever touch a fighting game. I forgot why he said why, because it didn't. I don't remember it making much sense to me. But that's because I'm more knowledgeable on the genre. But he just said he just wouldn't, right? So I wouldn't ask him. A lot of the time, unless it's someone like you that likes a variety of games, you're not gonna get people to play these games.
We're losing out.
Yeah, you have to find people within that community that actually plays that game already, or someone that already expresses an interest in, oh, this looks cool, and then you're like, because a lot of the time there's a lot of people that like the games that you like, and they'll be like, it looks cool, but for whatever reason they're intimidated from trying it. So then you coming along, be like, oh, I'll play with you, and be like, oh, cool. And then they come and play. That's how it works.
Bravo lost.
It's annoying. I get what you're saying. It is annoying because it would be much easier if people just tried more things.
Yes,
But
and
they don't.
that is legit. All I'm saying, it's like,
No, I get you. I
Yeah.
get you.
like,
Yeah.
Because again, everything you've just explained, of course, I already like know 100% of that shit. Obviously, like, it's quite an obvious thing. It's very simple to understand. I just think it's just a shame, you know, because ultimately, yeah, I feel
It is a shame.
yeah.
But there's people that are gamers and then there's people that play games. They are not the same thing. Gaming is so casual now that it's not the same thing. Respectfully, Lewis is not a gamer. Yeah,
Is
the
he
rest
still
of your
in the
family
voice chat, by the way? He might be.
Uh,
But to be-
I'll say it to him. He's not a gamer. Most of your family are not gamers. They happen to just play Call of Duty.
I mean, well, here's the thing, right? Lewis expressed an interest to me to play Need for Speed, the Crew Motorfest. I'm getting my franchises muddled up and merged here. And again, I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool, and we did it. If you suggest something you want to do, we will do. I will make sure that we do it. It might not be instantly, as Marcus pointed out, but we will get to it. I want to play more VF, and god damn it, when I'm done with this freaking Gooby Pass, which is going to be very soon, it's going to happen very soon because Revo's coming out. I need to get back into playing
This
VF.
week.
Taking C.
You know.
Mm.
Now Revo's
Like,
probably
yeah.
not going to run on my Mac, unfortunately, but I've still paid for the game and I can play it on PS4 until I can figure something out, because that's what I intend to do. You know.
Also, you know they've announced there's a beta for City of the Wolves
When is it? Give me that
next
info.
month.
Next month? Well, that'll be streamed right here for sure. I need to play that
But
game.
I think it's like for a weekend or one day.
Shit, man, that's a short beta.
Yeah. But yeah, like
Do you reckon it's a marketing beta or a beta? It's sounding like marketing beta to me.
They're taking C.
I don't know what the difference is. What's the difference?
A marketing beta is a beta that, like, basically it's the kind of beta that Call of Duty do, where they basically have it just before release, and they're like, if you buy the expensive version, you'll get like early access and stuff. But the thing is, the beta's too close to the actual release of the game, so if there's any problems or things that need fixing, the devs haven't left enough time to implement that feedback. A beta is far enough in advance where if there is any player-based feedback, the devs can actually implement those changes, and basically a better game can result at launch, or a smoother launch. So that's really the main difference.
They can implement them regardless. You just have to do it after release.
I'm on the
Because we're in that time period now. I don't really, in respective of whoever said that, I agree. I think it's silly that you do a beta now. You should have done it like ages ago, right? So yeah, it probably is a marketing beta.
Yeah.
But it's Fatal Fury. They need as many marketing anything as possible.
Well,
because
yeah.
on this side of the world,
Yeah, I
people
mean,
don't know what that is.
a lot of betas, again, for a lot of people, it's like to test the server load, like stress test the servers before actual launch day. But even then, too many games and publishers basically do their beta too close to launch, where they're like, oh shit, we aren't going to be able to get enough capacity live in time. And then you end up with server queues, or the whole thing tumbles down.
But from a gamer standpoint, though, is for you to test a couple of things. Number one, how's your connection to the game?
Yeah.
Number two, can you find any matches in your region?
I remember, like, with the Path of Exile 2 early access launch, remember the first night? I had to wait like an hour and a half before I could get in, and I had a couple of disconnects. But by date, like, that was the only night I had trouble, and basically the next day they'd sorted it all out before I basically got up to play the next day. But here's the thing, they were very transparent with their community, where like, hey, so we've just sold over 1 million early access codes, and here's the thing. When we were preparing for early access in terms of server capacity, we basically had prepared for 1 million simultaneous players, meaning that basically anything above this, we don't know what's going to happen. So they warned people that there might be wonkiness, and they'd obviously do everything they could. But like,
Yeah.
they literally didn't anticipate more than 1 million people being interested in their game in early access on day one of early access, which
Because it's an indie indie developer. It makes
Yeah.
sense.
well, the reason why they predicted 1 million is because, and here's the thing, the previous highest number that they've ever had for all of Path of Exile 1 at its absolute peak of popularity was something like 600,000 players tops. So they looked at that and be like, okay, our peak ever has been 600,000. So let's prepare for 1 million. And they went, and it ended up going above that. That's actually kind of nuts.
It's not their fault. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, they did what they could. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an indie developer, and that happened.
Yeah.
Right.
But like I
This
said, by day
situation is
2,
not
they
that.
were on top of all of it. To the point
This
where...
situation with City of the Wolves is not that. This situation is you've taken way too long to do this fucking beta test. Unless they've been doing that and they've been doing all the testing and we just didn't know about it, and a lot of it was done in Japan or something.
Yeah, they could have done internal testing. Well, they will have done internal testing.
They have done. Yeah, I know they have done, because people have talked about it. But yeah, we know the netcode. They figured out the netcode situation, so we know that kind of works really well, because KOF 15 is actually decent.
I'm actually paying for my City of the Wolves PS5 copy in 4 days' time. So potentially before this beta even happens. Right? Because when is this beta again?
Hold on.
When did you say this beta? Yeah, because like I've already got it down in my basically budget thing.
February 20th to February 24th.
Okay.
End of February.
Wow. Yeah. No. So I will be paying for the game. I'm just gonna take a chance on it and just buy the game in 4 days' time and then play it in April. And yeah.
The bottom line is you don't have to worry about it anyway because I will be playing that game.
Yeah.
So you have a friend that plays that game.
I know. I gotta be on it. I'm
It's
hoping
not-
that like it's not just. I don't want you to be the only person I know that plays it. If I could be totally honest, I want you
That's,
and maybe.
if that's the case, then you need to start getting more comfortable with talking to people that you don't know
I want
in the game.
I you know, I'm kind of hoping that like you, maybe Sky, like
Maybe.
Hardcore's gonna play it. I think I know that much. I think Hardcore's probably gonna play it because he's frustrated with Tekken 8. So I feel like
All targets
Hardcore, and I say this lovingly. Hardcore, I feel, is at a point now where like he's trying almost every fighting game that comes out, hoping something clicks and sticks, you know, because he's just not having fun in Tekken 8 like the rest of us are.
You need to do is you need to be more comfortable with communicating with people you don't know already in the game and making games with them. That's
Yeah.
what you need to do.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
that's why you run into these issues. Yax does that. That's where all of these people have come from that have started joining your streams.
yeah,
He doesn't know them in real life. He's met them in Discords and things.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? A lot of the time with fighting games, you have to do. Unfortunately, because it pisses me off as well. I don't like doing it either. But you have to. If you play games like I do, like flipping Blazing Strike and even Virtua Fighter, you have to use-
no, I get you. It's just like, again, we all have our friend circles, and it's just a fact and that, yeah, there are more games I wish I could play with the friends that I already have. I want to show you all why X game is cool, but in order
get
to
you.
do that, you gotta be willing to show up and just hear me out, kind of thing. And I'm literally willing to show people why a game is cool and why even care, because I'll stream it for you. I will literally show you what's cool, you know. And what I like about, I mean, you mentioned Yax. It's like, what I like about Yax is like if I'm playing something that's a bit different, you know, when take Frostpunk 2 that I was playing recently. You know, he was in the stream, and what I loved was he was asking me questions about the game. Like,
What did
okay, so
what did you mean Path of Exile 2?
And
What did you say?
sorry, what?
I missed. What did you say? Path of Exile 2.
No, I was talking about Frostpunk 2. Like, Yax
Oh,
was in there
Frostpunk 2,
asking
okay.
me questions. Same thing though in Path of Exile 2, he was there asking me questions like, what's different about this game? Why is it cool? Like, you know.
Yeah, because I was gonna say the reason why he would say that in Path of Exile is because it's basically Diablo.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why.
yeah.
He,
But
he-
no,
he already likes it.
yeah. but-
Frostpunk is different though. Frostpunk
Yeah.
is completely different.
Frostpunk is a complete anomaly to most of the people watching my stream, right? I'm aware of it. I know I'm already a fan of the studio that it came from, but I love the fact that, you know, Yax was in there asking me questions. In fact, not just Yax, I had a few people, because again, they tune into the stream and they see me using a keyboard and mouse on a video game. Like, you know, me, like, people were like, whoa, he's playing an actual computer game on his computer. What's going on? Like,
Yeah.
and by the way, that's going to happen again very soon, because I also like Mia's Civilization games, and Civ 7 is out next month. So, and that's also going to be paid for very soon. There's too many fucking games coming out, but hey, I've made sure I can afford the ones I want. So,
Do you wanna try it since you play computer games?
yeah.
I think it's in early access. And I don't know if it will work on Mac. Let me see.
Stormgate?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you want to try that with me because I have no idea.
Sure, man. So it's free, isn't it? Like is it
Yeah,
free?
that is free. The early access is free.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. I'll try that.
I can't spend no money. I think there's an early access pack for £18.69. There's an ultimate early access pack for £43.
£18, nice, cool.
And then the ultimate thing, which I guess has everything in it, it's £43.
Yeah.
And then you've got the actual thing for free.
See, like
so
you know,
I'm gonna
in Path of Exile 2, right, I was a bit annoyed. They're actually doing a stash tab sale this weekend, and of course, I've got some guildies in there where I've promised you a quad stash tab, but I just can't afford to buy more coins, sadly, yet, so we're just gonna have to wait till the next time. Unless, of course, you guys want to buy your own stash tab, and stuff, which, of course, you guys
Now,
can, because...
Before I jump into Stormgate, what I want to know, have they done the tutorial bit yet?
See, that's the thing. Possibly not, but we don't know, right? Till we fire it up. You know, it might be one of those early access things where, like, they've just got the multiplayer and you play people. You know, early access can mean a lot of things.
That's what I mean. I might.
In Path of Exile 2's case, what it means is you have half of the story plus the end game, but you have all of the multiplayer features in the sense that you can either play it alone or you can play it with up to you and 5 other friends. So, you know, the multiplayer is there, like the co-op is there, basically.
Says it has, because they have written what's in currently in early access.
Right.
So it says Stormgate is unfinished. Early access is a full development stage for us. On day 1 of early access, Stormgate will feature several playable game modes, including competitive 1v1, 3-player co-op versus AI, and our initial campaign missions. These campaign missions are a work in progress and use our gameplay models in cutscenes. We'll be updating these models with facial animations and improved body proportions during early access. We also plan to continue improving the art, story, and more. We also have a handful of experimental modes available for playtesting and custom games, including 2v2 maps and our MOBA-expired Turf War.
Right, okay.
Our core gameplay is in place and players can already feel the difference made possible by our ultra-responsive game engine. Our global server infrastructure has been tested and shown to provide an unmatched online play experience for players around the world, opening up possibilities of...
Don't say words like unmatched. Because, like, yeah.
He's read this too much. I'm just reading it out, bro. I'm just reading it out.
You are literally shooting yourself in the foot, though, because regardless of whether it's good or bad, it becomes...
This is equivalent to saying turbo encabulator with, like, a fucking rocket.
Because here's the thing, if it's truly unmatched and in a good way, I mean, it's great, but it also comes off a bit cocky. But also, if you claim it's unmatched and then it's not actually up to snuff, then you just look like stupid, you know? So, to me, that kind of language in marketing is just lose-lose scenario, really.
It depends on how you look at it, because there are companies that have said, Sega have said things like that with regards to like the new Virtua Fighter. They're like, yeah, we're going for realism. But the thing is, as confident as it sounds, they have a track record for meeting their expectations.
Yeah, and what they've already shown does seem to back up a lot of what they're saying.
They know they can back it up. So they're not, you know, so it's like, it doesn't sound, to put it in another way, it don't sound cocky when it's clearly obvious you can back it up and you have a track record. I think with these guys, they've forgotten that they're under a new name and most people won't know who they are.
Yeah.
Right? And so that will come off as cocky because they know Frost Giant Studios. They don't know that the majority of those guys that are working on this game were the same people that worked on StarCraft 2.
Which, don't get me wrong, it's a great pedigree, right? Like, and, you know, there's obviously going to be talent there, you know, but they won't have the ActiBliz budget, for one thing. right?
That's true. But how much of that budget was things to do with actually making the game versus
And that's
marketing?
what we're going to find out, because if it turns
Yeah.
out that Stormgate is a banger of a game on a much smaller budget, then again, what the heck are Activision Blizzard always been doing? You know, why we were talking about it earlier, why these big balloon budgets? Because it's clearly proven it's not needed, you know?
Yeah, people have proven that already. But there are people in the reviews that have played this early access already, apparently. And they're like, yeah, this is fantastic. This is basically StarCraft 3.
I would be
You know,
happy if it is, man. I love those games, and yeah. And
But there
actually,
are other
now
people
that I've
that
got
also like this is
this awesome
Yeah,
higher Mac, you see, there's a bunch of games that I've owned for years that, because of like my old PC, which it's not even in my possession anymore. There were playthroughs I wanted to do that I just couldn't because my PC wasn't good enough. I now, even though I haven't bought a Windows machine, technically don't have that issue anymore. Yeah, as long as I can get the game running through the crossover or various other means, I'm good. It just runs. And yeah, I really
Part
hope
of
I can
me
get
actually-
Revo going, because Revo I genuinely want to play.
part of me kind of just wants to actually might just run StarCraft for a bit first, like StarCraft 2.
Yeah, just yeah. And by the
haven't
way,
really
that
played an
game,
RTS before.
that game, I mean, you might already own it, but even if you didn't, the Wings
I
of
do.
Liberty game, like the base game, because it had 2 expansions.
Yeah, I remember.
The whole of the base game is free to play now anyway, so all you buy is the expansions.
Things like that.
They did that years ago. But what's brilliant is that even on the free-to-play version, when you buy the expansions, all it gives you is the campaigns of those expansions. So basically, the multiplayer of Legacy of the Void, basically, on the free-to-play version, it's like you get the multiplayer of, it's as if you owned everything. So Heart of the Swarm and Legacy of the Void. So essentially everybody gets the full multiplayer experience for free. And then when you decide, if you decide to buy the expansions for StarCraft 2, it literally just unlocks more single player campaign content, which I think is a really good way of doing it. Because to be fair, like while StarCraft 2 does have a great story and everything, why a large majority of people play that game is the multiplayer, and of course it had a very big esports scene back in the day as well.
Watch it. That's how big it was.
Yeah.
I used to watch it.
Yep.
I don't know fuck all about RTSs, but I was watching that on MLG.
Dude, the how fast players were at that game. Like I can play it, I do all right, but I don't play as quick as them lot, you know.
What's interesting though is I don't think it's on the Steam store.
It's not. You have to have the Battle.net launcher.
That's where I saw it. My bad.
But here's the thing, because Overwatch 2 has now moved to Steam, I actually think, and Diablo 4 did as well. It's not impossible for StarCraft 2 to eventually make the Steam jump. And I would be very glad if it did, because yeah, actually the Battle.net launcher is something that Crossover at the moment struggles with, but I know that they're working on fixes. So yeah.
Because I know for a fact that at some point I downloaded StarCraft 2 somewhere.
Yeah.
And you just reminded me it was on here, the Battle.net thing.
Yep. As are all of Blizzard's games.
Diablo 4 trial and sale ends in 3 days. Okay, cool, save.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a free opportunity to play that. Notice I hadn't mentioned that on stream.
Yeah, because it's on Game Pass as well, though. So I'm alright.
Yeah, but even it's free trial everywhere. I gotta be honest, like, Path of Exile 2's kind of spoiled me. I love Diablo and everything, but yeah, I wasn't actually enjoying the Spiritborn all that much.
I've seen a lot
for
of
the previous
people
season.
who went from like Diablo 4 who fell off pretty early on, including a few creators that I put a lot of time into watching.
It's a good game, and I think it's actually there are things about Path of Exile 2, especially after reaching cruel difficulty and spending 2 whole streams on the first one boss. You know what? D4 has its place. It genuinely does. Where the fact that it's
not gonna like it.
Where the fact that it's in comparison to to PoE 2, it's way more casual and easier. Depending on my mood, that's actually going to be a really good thing. And so actually, I think that Diablo 4 shouldn't ever try to become PoE 2 too much. Yeah. However,
My thing is this, yeah.
I do feel like if we're comparing the games as oceans, I can understand the viewpoint of if Diablo felt too shallow, I would understand what people mean. Yeah.
Different people like different things. Yeah.
Yeah.
The more that we have products that do different things, the more you're likely to meet people that meet people's needs. This is why I was saying from time ago, I even said to my friend NM Flames, because he loves Virtua Fighter.
I do need to go back to Diablo 4 soon though, and I will do before the current new season ends.
He was like,
yeah.
He was like, they need to modernize VF. You know, people joke about super moves and stuff. He's like, no, I wouldn't mind. I was like, I would. And a lot of people that are into VF would too, because that is a big part of what makes VF. Yeah. At that point, it might as well be playing Tekken.
Simulator.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's what it is. Kung Fu.
And it's funny because Tekken started out the same way. That's the thing. Now
all of a sudden it's got demons, angels, and fucking...
Yes and no, because the thing is, right? You're right. It kind of did, but the elements of it being a bit more mystical was always there, because electrics and things were always there with Heihachi, and that was its unique selling point as opposed to Virtua Fighter. That's what made it different. That and the fact that it had a 4-button system instead of 3, which actually, having more buttons actually makes the game easier. A lot of people don't realize this. The more buttons you have in a fighting game, the easier the game becomes.
The more your character can do, quickly,
Well, no, it's more to do with the more you can map to a single button, right? Like VF, right? Because it has 3 buttons. There's a lot of things where instead of just having left punch and right punch and mapping it to that one button, now you're doing a motion and the punch button, because it's a punch
to change the move.
Or you're doing not a motion, you're doing maybe one direction, but you're pressing P plus K. You know?
Yeah.
And things like that, which is okay on an arcade machine. It's fine on an arcade machine, because it's not hard to press P plus K or P plus P. Because your hands are right there, and you're not doing some funny finger gymnastics. If you try to play VF on an arcade controller, and you use the default controls, it's easy as piss. It's not hard at all, because it's literally your fingers are right there. Boom, right? Same with Tekken. Tekken is, you don't need to button bind when you have an arcade controller. Because it's all just there. Your hand just naturally does it. Street Fighter is a bit different. Fatal Fury, I mean, for the most part, your hands just naturally sit there. The one that was weird was Fatal Fury. Fatal Fury and SNK games, because originally, before King of Fighters 98, SNK machines used to have 4 buttons in a row with like a slight arc. So certain moves in Fatal Fury and stuff, you'd have to do things like press A and C together, so it'd be like your first and third finger, and in your face. It's not things that you normally do. I mean, it wasn't too hard. You get used to it eventually, but you get what I mean. It was different. It was different, and I love the fact that Battle.net literally they point you to if you're interested in StarCraft, they literally point you to it. Like, are you brand new to StarCraft? Start with this. It's free. You know, they literally point you to it. Start with this.
Yep. I mean, Blizzard are very.
Not
That is
fan of
something they're very
Warhammer.
good
Here's our
with-
rip-off
with-
game that was
with-
supposed to be a Warhammer game, but we were told no.
Like,
Oh, the stuff. Oh, the soap.
but like, see, this is the thing. Blizzard are very good at it, and even in Diablo 4. And to be fair, like I was saying, I am going to be going back to Diablo 4. I will play Season of the Witchcraft at some point. And
Season of the Witchcraft. What a name.
I think it is Season. No, it might just be Season of Witchcraft. Sorry, I added that in there. It didn't need to be there. But yeah.
Playing too much Destiny 2 secretly.
Yeah, but no, they've actually added even in non-seasonal, they've basically added with every seasonal patch they add new core features to the overall game. They've added the armory system from Diablo 3, meaning that you can basically save a character build and then completely change things up and then save that another build and then quickly swap between them. Absolutely genius, and it basically means you could have different Paragon board setups even. So I'm very curious to see how that all pans out. And yeah, I think it's just going to make the core playing the game even better. So yeah, I will revisit it. I don't have an ETA right now, but it is going to be within the next 3 months because that's how long Diablo seasons last. So yeah. Because if you remember, the Barbarian is the only class that I've yet to even really try. So we'll play a Barb. Which is going to be very interesting because I don't really do melee characters in ARPGs much. I really don't.
You ever watch any of Maximilian's stream when he was playing Conan?
I've not seen his stream, but I have seen his YouTube vids, which is obviously segments of his stream, like you said. So yes.
It was very funny on account of he had fun. But he got online and he's like, I'm just not having fun anymore.
Yeah,
and actually,
the combos take so long and the pacing of the combos, yeah.
He also said that I found really interesting. He also said, oh, I didn't buy any of the campaign stuff, but I definitely, okay. He also said there's a lot of games that he started playing. He's like me. Max is actually like me. He doesn't finish games.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games he doesn't finish because it's just not fun. And I was like, oh my God, I thought that was me.
Yeah, you did mention this the other week, like, yeah.
He's like, no, like there are some games. One of them was Black Myth, which I found interesting.
Yeah, again, you mentioned this the other week, but yeah.
Because he was like, it's a great game. Like the boss battles are incredible, but moving around it's a slog.
Yeah,
it's too dark. It's too Dark Soulsy.
And in a way, I think it was sort of trying to be.
It wasn't. That's the joke. It wasn't. It wasn't.
I look at the gameplay and I can definitely see the parallel. I will say that. I can see why people are making the comparison. Now, I will say I've not played this game, and I don't really like to judge games I haven't played. I like to play them.
People make the comparison because they don't know what an action adventure looks like anymore. Every action adventure RPG is now called a Souls game to most people because they're the most popular. They don't know what an action adventure RPG looks like. There is nothing about that game that is a Souls game. What makes a Souls game is the fact that dying is a mechanic.
Yeah.
You die and you go back and you find your souls and you learn not to go that way. You find your souls and then you don't go that way. You go the other way. Black Myth is not like that. Phantom Blade Zero is not like that. Now, granted, Max has played Phantom Blade Zero already, and he said he did like the fact that it was a bit more fluid and stuff when you're moving, but it seems like in the new footage that they gave us recently, they sped the game up,
Right.
so it was looking a lot better than what he remembered it. One of the things that really annoys me is when Max is you're watching it's kind of why I don't always watch his streams. You're watching his stream, he's playing a game, and he gets super anal about minimal screen tearing that basically no one can see, right?
Oh, I feel like that's anyone with a high-end PC rig where they, like, you know what? You would feel a lot better about your game. Turn off the FPS counter so you can't see when a drop is. Because if you can't
Literally
see when a drop is, I bet you won't even notice and feel half the drops that actually happen. Because guess what? You're gaming on a variable refresh rate monitor that's actually working correctly. You literally won't feel the drop.
Max might, because some people are fair. Some people
I
are.
was
sensitive to
listening
frame
to his. I love Max, by the way. I was listening
too.
even to the language he used in his Final Fantasy VII Rebirth PC review, and I'm listening. It's like, my God, he is such a PC elitist, and I get it because he owns high-end hardware, and even he admits it's like, oh, I'm having a great time. And maybe if I was on different hardware, maybe it wouldn't be quite that. I can only speak to what I have. I appreciate his honesty there. But yeah, he basically just straight up admits that his hardware is absolutely kind of, in a way, a factor of his opinion. And of course it would be, right? Because that's
to be fair,
what
he's a PC gamer first. He's always been a PC gamer.
Yeah.
So it's where he comes from, and
the only reason why in the
reminding us
COD
that-
days when he was playing COD a lot, the only reason why he would have been playing like on console like he was is because back then the PC ports of Gooby were really bad, but also because there was no crossplay at the time, the community back then, like even though it was on PS3 as well, if you really played Call of Duty, you played it on 360. You just did.
Yeah.
Back then you did.
That was.
Yeah.
But that was any first-person any shooter you played it on Xbox.
Yep.
The only reason you play it on PlayStation was because that's all you had.
Yep.
Same with fighting games, actually. The majority of fighting games in Europe, especially, you played it on 360. You didn't play it on PS3.
Yeah, I think Street Fighter 4 ran better, didn't it? Didn't it have better backgrounds or something?
Street Fighter 4, it was the lag. Street Fighter 4 ran better.
Lag.
Tekken 6 ran better. KOF 13 ran better. Most games ran better on 360. It was to do with the input lag and the fact that developers didn't really know how to develop for the cell
also
processor.
the GPU on 360, it actually had double the memory of PS3 because of how Sony designed the PS3 with a 256 megabytes maximum for graphics, and then the other 256 was for the system. Whereas even though the 360 had the same amount of memory in total, like you said, it was a unified pool where the graphics in the system could basically dynamically change the amounts based on the workload. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Because it's like my MacBook has a shared pool of memory for system and graphics because it's 36 gigs. It's not 512 megabytes.
If I'm actually wondering as to why Sony did it like that. If they do their
I have
separate
no idea, because the thing is PS4 and PS5 is a unified memory like the 360, so they learnt from the mistake.
They realized they made the mistake, but I would have wondered if it had something to do with the fact that you have that one side is focused on this and so it executes faster. The other side is only focused on
I'm
this.
pretty sure Sony's approach would have had some advantages because it guarantees that there would always be 256 on either side. But as we saw with a lot of games that came out, just the unified system just worked better because essentially the developers had more freedom. to use the
think,
hardware
like,
how they needed to. You know.
even if you wanted to say guaranteed 256,
Losing Bravo.
the shared idea could also guarantee 256.
Yeah.
There's no reason why the shared unified way of doing it couldn't just guarantee 256
True,
on
you're
both
actually
sides.
right, and you know how you're right is that actually I learned that my Mac has a thing where, yes, the memory is unified, but the graphics side of it has a hard-coded limit where it can only take 75% of the RAM that I've paid for. So if I basically decided to pay for, instead of 36 gigs of RAM, if I paid for 48 gigs instead, right, or 64 gigs, basically the graphics side of it would be able to take 75% of whatever I paid for. So considering I have 36 gigs, I believe that works out as the graphics can take up to 27 gigs out of that 36. And then the rest is guaranteed. That last 25% is guaranteed for the system because, of course, the system is going to need some of that memory too. You know what I mean? But yeah. It's like you can't have it take 100% just for the GPU because then the system would crash. So, yeah. But yeah, that you're absolutely right though, Marcus. That's exactly what they could have done. And yeah, I guess
it would be nice for them to explain why they did it like that.
yeah.
Because I can't see any positive reasoning for doing that like
I
that.
guess maybe they just thought that, yeah, 50-50 was a good split, but to force yourself at 50-50 for every workload,
Yeah.
that's not, yeah.
Because as a developer, you don't even know what the workload necessarily is going to be until you're kind of in it sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think that's kind of what happened is they came up with a design that they must have thought, oh, this is great, and like it, you know, it's elegant because it's an exact 50-50 split, and you know, we want the graphics to be just as good as the speed of the system or what have you. Like on paper they must have thought this is perfect, but yeah, in practice not so much. I mean, you only have to look at games like, I mean, to be honest, right, when you think about it, PS3 only having 256 megs of RAM, how on earth did Metal Gear Solid 4 even run like it did? Like, literally, how did Kojima pull that off? Because
Nintendo did a 3D game on a Super Nintendo.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, these lot of geniuses, they'll figure it out. They somehow got Monster Hunter running on a Switch.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a good point. Yeah.
You know, they will figure it out if they really want to.
Because the funny thing is, right, it's like the Switch one uses NVIDIA's Tegra X1 that's actually underclocked, not overclocked. Underclocked to improve battery life. But here's another interesting fact. The Tegra X1 is a quad-core processor, but Nintendo take away one of those cores to be permanently used for the system, so the background like home menu and all that stuff. So whenever you're running a game on the Switch, they're actually using 3 processor cores maximum. They can't get to that 4th one. So yeah, it's amazing how games like The Witcher 3 or, like you say, you know, Nintendo's stuff.
And the thing is with Max as well, because I really like Max.
Yeah, me too.
I think he's a nice guy. It's when he gets into that bag of his original PC gamer thing starts showing, because he was a PC gamer first.
I almost feel like a lot of, like, I think, let's just speculate here, right? Because the thing is, I definitely, maybe I'm just,
he's getting a 59.
Maybe I'm just cagey here, but I don't really like, Max is more successful than I ever would be, and I can't say I'm all that comfortable being overly critical. However, what I want to speculate on here, right, is like, I wonder how much his audience and like the kind of things that get said in his chat are a factor with how he responds. Is what I'm describing make sense? Do you see what I'm, because like, what I'm essentially saying is his chat full of people that are also kind of rather elitist when it comes to PC stuff? Or...
They are. No, here's the thing. They are. But him being elitist in the first place makes it that way.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I do get you.
He has cultivated that.
Yeah.
You have cultivated a certain feel in your community. That's why your community feels the way it does. Aris is the same. A lot of his chat is like Aris. When I go to fighting GM, a lot of his chat is like fighting GM. What you do, your chat will reflect that because people are sheep.
Which, by the way, because I strongly agree and understand what you're saying, that is why, and I know the Boost Gang meme on it, but that is why, yeah, because people joke in Boost Gang that I'm so freaking wholesome. Yeah, I want to be, guys. Actually, there is a reason for that.
We joke. I joke personally because I think it's great. I make fun of you because I'm your friend. It's like a big brother thing. But I personally think it's great.
Because I honestly think that all these platform war things and stuff, it's stupid. And yes, I'm predominantly a PlayStation gamer, but it's because I don't have enough.
That's what you had.
Yeah, I don't have enough disposable income to justify getting every system and setting it all up in this tiny room. Like, if I had to choose one, I'm gonna choose this one.
Also, this is why I always tell you all these old man stories about Mega Drive and Super Nintendo and Sega Saturn, because I can't physically bring those things to your house.
Yeah.
Right? So the closest thing I can do for you, because what used to happen back in the day, everybody had one console.
It's why I am actually pro emulation and the preservation of old games that aren't being sold by the publishers and platform holders anymore. Right? I am definitely pro that, because it's not actually taking away from the company's bottom line, because again, it's not being sold anymore.
Everyone I know, the majority of people, when I was growing up, they had one console if they were lucky.
Yep.
I was very, very lucky. I had all of them, right?
So what used
to happen, minus the handhelds. So what used to happen is my friend John that you met, because he was in your chat one day, right?
Yeah.
He used to live around the corner. His mum used to live around the corner from my mum's house. He used to come round to my house and he used to hang out with me. If mum wanted to go on holiday or she wanted to go out and whatever, he would help make sure I had food and whatnot. Yeah. And he used to stay over and we'd play games. And he would play like Dreamcast and things. And it was cool for him because he never had those consoles. So the way he would access those things is coming to my house or his friend's Aaron's house that lived right over the road. When we needed an extra Dreamcast controller, because I only had one, I'd be like, "Hey John, do you mind going to Aaron's house and asking him to borrow his controller?" Yeah, alright, cool. He'd get his controller, bring it over, we play Marvel or something like that. That's how most people experienced other games that were on other consoles.
That's another game I need to play, right? Because I've owned that and I haven't even fired it up. Like, that's another game that's gonna get on this stream soon. I promise.
But
because
that's the thing, because
Marvel,
I physically can't blow the dust off of the stuff in my cupboard, get it out my cupboard, come all the way to where you are and show it to you.
Yeah.
I tell you these stories,
but is great because it gets around that. Yeah.
But I tell you about these things because you have it, you've discovered emulation, and I'm like, okay, these are the games that I remember fondly. These are and they're games that you might not have heard of or even had access to.
Exactly.
Let's see what you think of these things.
Yeah.
That's why I do it. It's not to show off and stuff. It's because I know that you didn't have access to it at the time.
And the thing is, and Diablo 2 is a really good example. Like, if the gameplay is still good, it stands the test of time. It doesn't need to have pretty visuals, although in D2's case, at the time, similar to like what you said about some of the fighting games of the time, like D2 is a sprite-based game visually,
Gorgeousness.
and it had,
Yes.
and at the time, it was some of the best sprite work in an action RPG. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, I know that, and I wasn't in, because there used to be a show that used to come on called movies, music, and video games.
yeah.
I don't know if you remember. This is like the 90s. They used to have pink font.
By the way,
And it used
Alpha,
to
are
come
you
in-
still there, bud?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay,
He's
because
listening to the- he's listening to-
we're one game away from me finishing this pass. By the way, I think the next
Yeah.
game we're gonna be done.
He's listening to our old man stories of video games because this is all before he was born, for the most part.
Yeah, can you
That and I
like,
was
gloss over that?
Playing
Okay.
with that, and I was playing with the dog a little bit, and I threw his ball, and all of a sudden,
Before you threw the dog. What?
yes, I threw the dog.
You threw the dog. Wow.
No.
I threw the dog's ball, and now his ball has just vanished.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And he's
Oh, boy.
like,
It's like-
where with the gun?
It's like his ball has just vanished into the shadow dimension. It's just gone.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no. Dude, you gotta be more careful of where you're throwing that thing.
Also, yeah, I bet the dog's saying that in dog language because it's his favorite toy. Also, there are a lot of games, Andy, that I didn't get to play during that time as well because obviously, whether I got a
I mean,
game
you
or
might
not
have all
was
the
reliant-
systems, but you sure as hell can't buy all the games. Yeah.
Not at all, because even though Sega Saturn only and Dreamcast only lasted like 2-3 years, they still had like 300 games each. Huh?
Just got a Cal Street with a sniper rifle. What the hell?
Call of Duty. Yeah, like like Dreamcast.
Okay.
Dreamcast only lasted 2 years and it had 300 games. Right? So I only had like 8. So
I'd tell you something, but I
There's a
feel
lot
like
I
it'd be
didn't
too
play.
dark humor to be allowed.
I mean, the kind of shit you guys come out, you might as well just say it because you've teased it now.
No.
You know what the internet's
The
like.
wholesome- my aim
It's a
is
wholesome
about as
thing.
good as a diabetic coping with sugar.
so it's bad, yeah.
It's not that bad. How dare you? It's no.
It-
He's
it-
he's
it
got a
ain't that
good aim,
bad.
chat.
Yeah, you must think. What's your name, Portessa? Not that
Exactly.
bad at all.
Yeah.
The-
I,
Nah,
you know
mine's-
what? I
mine's-
wasn't
mine's
gonna
far
bring
worse.
this up, but you know what? You've made it necessary. I can't believe you've forgotten how long it took me to get the 10 headshots with a shotgun on this game.
That was
You
so
have to-
funny.
You basically have to ram the shotgun up somebody's ass in order to get a
Which he
kill.
did do. Which he did multiple times. Multiple times. There was one shot, yeah. No lie, chat, yeah. There was
He
one shot.
remembers so
where
vividly.
Someone was dropping. I don't know if they were dropping from a building or something like that, or they jumped, but they were. It was a moving target in the air, and Andy somehow with a shotgun managed to shoot this guy right in the butt crack. And I was like,
It's a collateral. What the fuck?
and I was like, he had him shitting shrapnel, bro. And I was like, how are you doing that and you're not getting that's harder than getting a headshot. What's going on? And every shot he took, someone's getting shot in the crotch or the butt crack. I had questions.
The
I had
ones
so many
above the
questions.
shoulder really pissed me off because it's like I'm just slightly off. Like I just need to move slightly to the left or right, and then I would have got it. It was
Yeah,
the
I
shoulder
know. I
shots.
know.
Yeah, that was
There
the
were-
worst.
There was some where I was legitimately like, that was a headshot. The game's lying. That was a headshot. Nah.
Peach is now patrolling the room and whining
lost his
because
ball.
I have genuinely lost his ball.
No,
bastard.
man. It's probably
Go
under your
find his
bed or
ball.
something. You need to look. Stop playing. Go look. Go look.
Go find
Go
the
look.
ball, silly human.
All right.
Go look.
I back out the game, forfeit that match
Go
temporarily.
look.
I'll be right back just to look for his ball.
Yeah, you better.
Enemy UAV inbound.
And people disagree are called NRS Shields. Why can't we call you Tom Brady Shield? Sounds a lot worse.
So the Xbox
Ooh.
showcase, Marcus, because you watched it, right? The 4
I
games
did, yes.
they showed. Doom,
Yes.
Ninja Gaiden, whatever the one with the fish thing's called, an Expedition 33. Right? What did you think of the show?
I'm not gonna lie, all of the games look really interesting to me.
Yes. Yes.
Like all of them.
And see,
And I
here's the
didn't
thing,
really-
right? They're all on Game Pass, so you'll have access to them. I'm looking
Yeah.
at that show, and I'm like, the only thing that I actually think that I would buy and genuinely like play, like pay money and play, like where if I
Yeah.
could afford it, I'd get it on day one. Is like the Ninja Gaidens with the Doom. Like they,
Interesting.
they are good, but actually with Doom: The Dark Ages, it's like I think I can wait for a sale on it, and I think it's because it's like
As
the
good as
third
they
game
look-
in the series, right? It's the
Yeah.
third one at this point. And while I'm not saying it's not like, you know, not worth the money and it isn't going to be a good experience, I'm sure it will be fantastic. But it's not something I feel I need, like, oh, I gotta have that on day one. Because
my thing
if
is-
I'm in a Doom mood, I could just fire up, you know, one of the old ones. It'll still be fun, you know what I mean?
I get what you mean. I think if it wasn't all on Game Pass, very similar to yourself actually.
Yeah. Yeah, if it wasn't on Game Pass,
day-
how many of those would you
day
actually
one-
buy?
Day one, Ninja Gaiden 4.
Yep.
Probably Ninja Gaiden Black 2.
Yeah. But what about the others?
And I may put the boat out and get South of Midnight.
Oh, that's
'cause
yeah,
that
that
game-
was the name of it.
That game looks interesting to me. Expedition 33, they said I was confused because they were saying like it's turn-based, but there's bits of the game when you're looking at it and it doesn't look like it's turn-based. Or I was a bit confused. I was like, what's going on here?
So you need to
looks
see more of that game, like actually, like not
Yeah.
a trailer, not a showcase. You need the game to
I-
come out and see it for that one.
Yeah, I need to play that game.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's on Game Pass helps it because I could play that game, have loads of fun, and then if it comes off of Game Pass, then I end up buying it because I already know I like it. Those kind of games I need to play to see if I like it.
His ball was removed from the shadow dimension.
Oh,
Nice,
where?
nice.
So where actually was it?
It was in between two of the Lego house boxes.
There we go.
Probably didn't want to break, so he didn't go in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
he
so-
doesn't want me to throw it anymore.
I'm not
Well,
surprised.
just don't
You lost
throw it
it.
with as much gusto, you know. Like you gotta, like
Not
throw it,
surprised at all.
throw it towards him lightly, where he's still gotta jump up and get it. And
This objective.
yeah.
So similar to yourself, also, Doom: The Dark Ages is just on the cusp of me not
Doom.
buying.
See, here's the thing about the Dark Ages game, but I'm glad we saw actual gameplay. It's interesting. I can see what they mean where they're trying to go more like with OG Doom, where strafing is more important. But actually, I feel like they've slowed the game down compared to Eternal, and I don't know whether that's how that's gonna feel, whether that's gonna work.
It helps us to
Maybe
improve.
I'm just used to Doom Eternal now. Like after, you know, the speed boost that Eternal was. I mean, maybe they got a lot. I don't know. Did they get a lot of criticism for the speed of the increase of Eternal compared to?
I don't know any of
maybe
what you're
they
talking
did,
about.
and this
All
is
I
a
know is that they
course
got
correction.
hardcore fans. All I know is they got hardcore fans and it's got Doom on it, so people are gonna buy it. That's all I know.
Because I saw a ton of blocking and parrying in that gameplay.
I did, yes.
So it was like you block and parry and then you shoot and kill them. So
But I don't know if
yeah.
it's a case of you have to do that or if it's a case of them just showing you can do that. You see what I mean? There's
Yeah.
that as well. There's that as well.
I
And the thing
feel
is,
like the way they were showing with basically doing that, that is clearly the most optimal way to play, where you will take no damage. It requires skill. You'll be rewarded for that skill. So if you can just go boom, 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 the reality is you're probably going to take a lot more hits, right?
I play
Because I
fighting
honestly
games.
feel
in
like
fighting game-
that
in-
shield saw that they showed off. I feel like that shield saw is so key to the gameplay of this particular Doom that it's literally like you can't beat their game without it.
I don't know, because I play so many fighting games where they will show you in the trailer. They will show you things.
Don't get
That
me
looks
wrong,
like
the
it's
shield
good.
saw looks fucking amazing, but like, yeah, it's definitely
said it-
different from Eternal.
I said it at the time. It just reminds me of Gears of War 2 and the chainsaw on the end of the Gears of War in general, and the chainsaw on the end of the gun.
Yeah, because obviously you're going to be able to chop to people with that shit. Yeah, yeah.
Like that was really cool. It felt good to do that to people in Gears of War. Well, not
Yeah.
people, but the Chimera. So Doom is the kind of game where it's on the cusp of I would have bought that day one. It's on the cusp.
Yeah.
It's like it's just outside of I would buy that day one.
Not only that,
Because-
here's the thing. I still haven't. I'm near the end of Doom Eternal. I've basically got to the point where I've got the warning where like, oh, you start the last mission now, but you can't come back to the home base until credits roll. So I'm on the last mission. I've got other collectibles to go get if I want to, which I did kind of want to do because I haven't unlocked the Unmaker weapon yet, for example. And I haven't done any of the DLC of Eternal despite owning it. So I kind of feel like I should play and complete what I own before I buy Doom the Dark Ages. You know what I mean?
Also, another thing is I feel like by nature Doom is just an Xbox game.
No
it is-
sort
it
of
is-
humor. CP is not playing Gooby. He's just in the voice chat because he does that. But it's nice to chat. And Gooby's the kind of stream,
humor.
especially if I'm doing multiplayer, where people could just come in and chat. Even you could just come in and chat. But it's funny that you've come in here now because that game I just finished is literally the last game that I'm planning to play. We have finished the Season 1 Battle Pass for Black Ops 6 Season 1. And as the title of my stream suggests, I am done with these goddamn Battle Passes. Because I realized, and actually, let me make the stream full circle and just be a talking head for a moment. By the way, Alpha,
I'm tired of these motherfucking battle passes in my motherfucking game.
Yes, but let me rewind as to how this epiphany actually happened. This is hilarious. So I'm gonna go to my just chatting scene a minute and just talk to you guys. So you might remember that when Final Fantasy VII Rebirth released on PlayStation 5, I pre-ordered it, as did CP Skills, by the way. We pre-ordered it day one. And I said, cool, right? I'm gonna do a full playthrough of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on stream, but I need to go back to Final Fantasy VII Remake, the prior game, and finish that playthrough off, which, by the way, I'm like 3 hours in. I did the stream like a few years ago, but all the continuity will be there whenever I resume the game again, right? But here's the thing. Rebirth has just released on Steam on PC. So not only have I not started Rebirth, but I haven't even gone back to the remake, like the prior game, to continue that like I said I would. And it's been over a fucking year. So what's happened? And what's happened is like live service games, yo. Whether it be Tekken 8, Diablo 4, Gooby, or like I'm blanking. Path of Exile 2. Well, actually, yeah, they don't have a battle pass in that, thankfully. But those 4 games have basically meant that I'm playing those so much and completing battle passes in them that I just don't get round to anything else in my backlog. And I'm like, you know what? Fluff this. I don't want to keep buying gooby battle passes and then feeling like, oh, I must complete battle pass before season ends in 3 days because otherwise I've wasted money on this
What
pass.
caused you to even buy? I have a question. What caused you to even buy the battle pass in the first place?
The battle pass, here's where they got me. The battle pass was included in the Vault edition of the game I bought. And I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't really buy the Vault edition for the battle pass. And this is another thing that pisses me off about special editions of games. There are weapons I got access to right away in the multiplayers and zombie modes specifically for having the Vault edition. They call them blueprints. So you could say in a way it's pay to win because you have better gear immediately in the multiplayer modes by having the more expensive edition of the game. So the Vault
What's even
edition
worse is the fact that they are permanent across every time you press the edge. They don't get relocked.
Yeah, they don't go relocked. So it gives me an edge in the multiplayer and the zombies mode. So it is worth it from that point. But because it just happened to also come with a battle pass, I'm like, shit, when season 1 comes along, I want to make sure I 100% this pass because otherwise there are unlocks I could have got had I played. And if I didn't bother, I feel like I've not got the full value out of my Vault edition. You know what I mean? It's legit FOMO mechanics and I'm sick of it. So I'm not buying a Gooby battle pass again. I'm just not doing it. Like it's 2025 and I have live service fatigue. I'm not even going to buy a Diablo 4 battle pass anymore. And you guys know how much I like that game. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, sort of humor. Ooh. But no, in terms of Black Ops 6 as a game though, no, I genuinely like the game. It's a good shooter. But I don't like the fact that the reason why that there was a stream of it tonight is because I felt like I had to finish some arbitrary season pass rather than me firing it up because I genuinely feel like playing it, you know? So this whole kind of being a slave to the game thing, it's got to stop because there's so many games that I actually want to play that I just haven't made time for because of these stupid season mechanics with limited time deadlines and shit. So expect to see more games that I actually feel like playing, like Virtua Fighter and Battlefield and Quake 2, because I mean we keep talking about firing up that multiplayer. Back in Quake 2, that's when FPS games were really fun. So yeah.
Old man Andy.
Yeah, I'm officially getting old.
Though.
That's it. That's
my point though.
Thank you for backing me up, 21-year-old nephew. Thank you.
22.
Sorry. Wow, you're even older than there you go. Most people don't complain when you get the age like too low. But yeah, sorry.
It's because he's at the age where being too low it means you can't. Oh, hang on.
Anyway, thank you for joining at the Buzzer Sort Humor. By the way, my mum has continued to enjoy Silent Hill 2. Even though, sorry, it wasn't like a streamed playthrough or anything. But really, it's kind of like the first time she's ever gone through this kind of stuff. Anyway, I want to let you know. I'll give you guys a bit of an update. She is now at the, how can I say this in a non-spoilery way? If I were to say spears with the 2 pyramid heads
I haven't even seen that.
Near the end of the game, would you know where I mean? That's where she's got to tonight. And while I was streaming this, I could hear when she got there because she like out loud said, What? What the fuck? Like, and the thing is, I just knew what she would have been reacting to. So yeah, I'm probably gonna end up helping out on that bit, but she's nearly there, and she's really enjoyed it. Maybe we can convince her to maybe do a New Game Plus on stream or so. I don't know, but yeah, I'll see. Maybe we make it a bit of a co-op run where if she struggles with a bit, I could take the controller. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas around. There's not going to be Origami 2 tomorrow, most likely. Dondi messaged me and Alpha. Moving stuff is happening, as I said. So the next stream you're going to see of me is Sunday night Tekken 8, 7 p.m. UK time. And then after that, I think it might actually be time for me to return to Path of Exile 2 next week. Because we finished Frostpunk 2 yesterday, and it was a blast. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you, Salt Humor, for stopping by. I hope you're well, sir. It would be lovely to actually, like, take some time to actually catch up with you and stuff. But I am going to end this stream for now. But yeah, we should hop in a voice chat or something and have a chat sometime. Good as that look past. Oh, yeah. Fair play. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's all right. Nobody watches me play Gooby anyway, so it's not like I've spoiled much. But yeah, take care of yourselves and each other. And I'll see you guys on Sunday night. But yeah, see ya.